boys at all in simple. Maybe don't let it go at that, but there are a lot of...
CP squared has 51 minus degrees of freedom, making...
I got hungry, and I ate it.
We're Americans, and we only like competition, okay? I'm eating, and I'm reading a book, and this wave just comes up.
Making a complex robot, but it is controlled by living brain cells, much like those inside your head. Researchers...
This moth isn't just swinging around, it's been bugged.
Grow collections around 3,000 brain cells in the lab. The cells grow collections with each other and start communicating
using electrodes implanted into its muscles.
Some are hard to found out predictably. Signals from robots or ultrasound distance sensor.
Here, signals are sent to its left flight muscle to make it lift that wing.
The output from these cells can be used to control
different signals can be sent for it to lower its wing, to lift both wings at once, or to make them flat.
They each have a motor in them, and it actually drives forward when I walk. It actually powers that knee through the step.
Powered through Bluetooth technology.
Increasing the frequency of the pulse makes the wings beat faster. If a signal is sent only to one side while the moth is flying, it will veer in that direction. Implanted electrodes into the brains of tree beetles,
and they
close to
talk to
neurons
each other
that
and try to
control
mimic
flight.
the stride length.
A computer
that the
program
other
in the
one's doing. If I
device
speed
controls
up,
the
the other one
beetle,
can realize
and
it's
here
doing
it
it, and
beats
it'll
its
speed up
wings
as well.
and takes off when a negative voltage is sent to its brain. Researchers are putting moths in control and using them as a pair of eyes. They've found out how to intercept signals from their visual system and how to use them to make a robot move. Here, a graduate student demonstrates how the robot can be steered. Combining living and machine components could eventually make robotic systems more effective.
Legs when an IED hit his convoy in Fallujah, Iraq in 2006.
The IED went off directly underneath me and took off basically everything that was hanging over the ledge of the seat, my legs. And then it killed my sergeant in front of me and my good friend next to me. My gunner lost his right leg. I shattered my hip. I had 32 pins in my hip. I broke my pelvis, so I have a 6-inch screw holding that together. I lost both legs above the knee. I broke 4 fingers, broke my jaw, broke my nose, lacerated kidney. So I recovered well, I think, and great care here and done well.
Today, I use the Bluetooth prosthetics.
It's a lot of hip control. In my other legs, I usually have to use all my thigh to power through things, but since these are moving on their own, then I actually just kind of have to lift and shift my weight a little bit.
He says they're a bit heavier than the other 2 microchip prosthetics he's worn, but they require much less effort to operate.
If they're not programmed right, they kind of do their own thing sometimes, and they'll kick for no reason. Like you'll just be standing there and be like, and just kick off to the side.
To master the stairs just yet.
Sometimes when you go near a computer or something, you'll hear the computer start freezing, so it does do that a lot, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, and I have to turn my legs off.
In communicating robot wirelessly, the team plans to use their robot brain power, new pattern behavior in the future. They hope there are enough similarities to teach about unknown aspects of our own brain.
This is Schitt.
It's
Ba-na-na-dum, bum 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 ba-na-na-na. Invade. Invade. Can't you feel them? All those bugs crawling inside of you. God, I don't remember the rest of it. I haven't sung this song in 8 years or something. There's a lot more to this song when we did it live that we would say, and I had backup singers and all kinds of other background accompaniment for this song. If I can find old Cyborg Death videos, we'll play them. But back then, there was very lack of video and production stuff. Or cheap. Not everybody had a fucking camera in their fucking hand. Get out your forks. Get out your knives. It's an insect harvest. All right. Interesting. Get out your forks. Get out your knives. It's an insect harvest. Crawl inside of you. Rewatch yourself. God damn it, my pot's all the way over there. Son of a bitch. I'll have to grab that in a minute. It's an insect harvest. Welcome everybody to another crazy shite. We've got lots of insanity for you, just like always. Let me get in and out of this. I'm going to move this to a new window. And I will look at that in a minute once we bring everybody in. And we say hello to our side chat because we have a lot of lovely people in our side chat and as guests. If you would like to join us as a guest, just let us know and we'll send you a link and you can join us. I have been forcing an unexpected restart on my broken robot many a times. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, let's bring in our lovely guests after, of course, we'll do the disclaimer. So anybody who's speaking in this fucking film that we're about to watch, we don't believe in their fucking ideals. We are most likely against them. But there's lack of proof, which we're going to see in just a second. That's why we had to do this, just because the way they describe this stuff and explain this stuff is hilarious. And one of my exes, she believed in giants as well, and a lot of other conspiracy things and stuff. So it's fun to sometimes go over some of these because I'm like, I literally heard people like sputter out some of this nonsense. So let's get into this.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard! Action Bastard, I need you! Action Bastard, I need you! Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second. Are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're stupid. All right, let's bring in our guests and let's say hello to the side chat, and then we will get this show on the road. So bringing in our first guest is, of course, everybody's
Mama.
Oh, Mama.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, and somehow it's kind of funny how us content creators kind of jump on the same thing at the same time. I know when a video comes out, like a lot of us jump on certain topics. So I think it's funny. There's like 3 content creators now that are talking about Hans Wormhat, which we're talking about Thursday, and then of course today is the Giants thing, which multiple people have been talking. I don't know if it's about this exact documentary or this exact thing we're going to cover, but it's great that like there's now other content creators that are going over this subject. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we will show your thingy mabobber later. Is that what it's from?
Yeah. It was from FTFE, but it's something I cut out, and he's just like, share it.
So, yeah, totally.
It's very appropriate to what we're going to be seeing today.
Yeah, and so at one point we will definitely be showing that part of it. And so let's bring in our next guest, and of course it is our
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
And there is our brainless. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm holding up. Mom, I'm happy that you are feeling much better again, so you can join us.
Yes, definitely. So let's say hello to the side of my chats right quick, and we have a new person that I don't ever think I've ever seen, Lady Moonweb. So welcome, Lady Moonweb. Hopefully this is very entertaining for you. If you enjoy Glober Mom, you will enjoy this, and she's here live, so you get to hear her speak the whole time. So next is
later on, our sister is going to join us, so you can't hear Glober Mom talk all the time.
Well, that's true. So there's
don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said that, because she'll beat my ass.
Somebody asked you to go check the MC Tunes Discord. She left you something. I'm guessing, well, your lady. Okay. I was gonna say I didn't want to misgender you, but I guess her name is that, so never mind. Okay. So we got a demon orb. We have, of course, as always, if you want to have me do shots live on stream, we have the Woodka, and it's right here. It's only $5 to make me do. Remember, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys, everybody over 18. I always like want to say that because when I do my live shows, that is my like intro. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right this way. Don't be scared to get close, you know. So that's why my brain wants to say that when we do these. Although everybody should be over 18. And once again, Demon Orbital posts this. I think that's the one who did it. If you are under 18, go and go up to your parents and smack them for letting you watch our show. Anyways, no, please don't do that. We don't like violence. Anyways, so let's get to the next one. Super Magos.
One is aimed at Flurfs. Huh? What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're over 21 and somebody's being stupid around you, you might need to smack, or we always say punch a Nazi. So, I mean, I will get in trouble for telling you to punch a Nazi in the face. Anyways, so
somebody joined the side chat. Look.
What? Hold on. Let me get there. I don't know what's going on yet.
That's left burner on the side chat.
Okay. My brain is only doing, and there's like new features that we have for stuff and things too. So we will try to get into that later. That StreamYards is doing, and also more things on the YouTubes. But anyways, hey, Super Ghost, random facts. Hulk Hogan beat the Giant champion Andre the Giant, obviously, right before Chuck Norris roundhouse kicked the spelling out of this comment. But okay. Anyways, we got a Harry Warp, we got a J Troy, we got a Sydney's. Let's see if there's anybody else. Let's see. Let's see. What did you say again? Hello. Oh, it's Melissa. How are you doing? If you want to join us, just let us know, and you can totally join us. We'll send you a link. Just let us know. We got a Mark Caesar, and let's see if there's anybody else. Okay, no, there is not as of right now. I'm going to hide this comment, and then we're going to bring in our next thingy mabobber, our next guest. I don't know why I said it that way. I'm sorry. It is way hot right now, so like, whoo, yeah, I'm like halfway here.
Yeah, I know, Slim. I know the thingy mabobber is hot. Never mind.
yeah, exactly, Tamale. Okay, so I think I go to it's my clips. There we go. And then right there, I got it. And pause. Oh, son of a bee sting. It does it there. There we go. And click the right. I have to click the right thing. I really need another freaking monitor, but that's okay. That's the next thing I'm going to trick myself with is another monitor. Okay, here we blow.
Oh yes.
And there's bringing in.
Hiya.
Hello, and I love that clip because they don't copyright it at all. Yeah, they don't copyright that. Because technically, there's no words, there's nothing really, and we're only using such a small amount of time that the algorithms you can't figure it out yet. So I like using that, and that's more like you, like a badass bitch beating the fuck out of Ash. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So,
I mean, fair play. Yeah, I would
whipping out her fictional dick and slap him across the face.
Just knock him out with it.
Like I might want to punch the person that's got Spawn's backpack.
Wait, what happened?
She got a backpack for her birthday yesterday. We went swimming again today. On the walk back, she left it on a bench somewhere. And it's gone now. So it had like her 2 brand new favorite cuddlies and everything. So like,
oh my god,
we're trying to sort that. Brainless really kindly gave me the money to replace the 2 cuddlies. So like that was.
You don't need to tell everybody about that. Like
I'm gonna. Sorry, fuck you.
Yeah. Brainless, your screen is black.
Yeah, he has to have it black so people don't think he's an absolute pussy after what I said. It's black like his soul.
Yeah, it's black. Yes. Wait. I am now the cyborg warrior for the ball, gag, and whips. So that okay, hold on. I guess this is what we're gonna change it to. What is it? I don't know how many characters do we get. How many characters do we get for this?
No.
Quite a few.
Let me try it. And we'll just do 4 ball gag and whip. Oh, it did it all. Okay, there we go.
Oh,
So
nice.
there's my new oh, it's not showing it. Why is it? Oh, hold on, give me a second. I had to reset everything because yesterday I went through. Why is it not showing our names?
Because you got the comments showing.
Oh, yeah, the comments up.
Haha, I'm only half here, I swear. Okay, there we blow. Cyborg Warrior for ball, gag, and whip. There we go.
Hey,
Well, we're glad you're here, Ollieman. And remember, blame Canada. Anyways,
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
Super Magos put in all the fun things. So if you don't know, you can use emojis if you are a member. And if not, there's still a bunch of crazy cool emojis that you can use in chat. So go ahead and use those and make it fun for the chat. If anybody posts a super chat or a super like or whatever the fuck they're called, if I don't notice it, somebody else tell me, and then I will read whatever they are. I missed like 2 weeks ago or something, and I feel really bad because Canadian said, "Drink this shot for me, you effed up fucker," or something like that, or "You screwed up fucker." I don't know. It was something like that, right? Ollie,
right, something.
Yeah. So now I said it out loud, and what I'm gonna do, like some of the other content creators, is when you do super chat, we're gonna make a little thingy mabobber for like the intro or for at some point in time where we say all the recent super chats. I know, Sydney, and like not to be you can spend $2 a month to become one, or hopefully somebody will gift it to you. We'll talk about that later. Melissa, that is something we're not going to talk about right now. If you would like to discuss that in the Distant Accords, we can totally
I was just going to put that, but you said it before I could do anything. So
she's not around anymore. Let's just put it that way.
Discord.
Yeah. So anyways, let's keep blowing on. So we were talking about giants in the Americas, and there has been in the Bible, there have been the giants from different parts of the world, but them being in the Americas is a complete new weird thing. Yes,
you forgot somebody, like, because Olliman had like foresight, because he asked like, "Is he around?" And the next comment is, "A good afternoon from our sponsor."
Schitt is here. Did I not see that?
Yes.
Ah, son of a bee sting. Okay, there we go. There's this. I'm trying it.
Hey, that's why you got a sidekick.
No, I know, and that's why I ask y'all to help me, because the chat moves way faster than it used to ever, because now we have so many things going on. So
we got 11 people.
It's a pleasure. Wow. And of course, we're playing Schitt's commercial.
It's still funny.
Melissa, you're only supposed to super chat me fucked up things for me to say. I already said if you need a link, just let us know. But thank you for the super chat. But you're supposed to wait to use that to when I'm drunk and to get me say screwed up things. That's what we normally are supposed to use that for. I know. No worries. It's okay. But thank you for the super much chats, because that does help. And the YouTube's likes it way more when those things happen on our channel and our chat. Did somebody send her one?
Discord.
Oh, you did. Perfect.
You. I was right there. I was right behind you.
Oh, I noticed it like a minute ago, so like I was just sending it quickly.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you very much. And that's why I love having you all here, is to help run this crap with me. So yeah, link Melissa up, fucker. Yeah, I read that correct, right?
Link Melissa.
Yeah, link Melissa.
Fuck her. Oh.
Okay. Oh, I need to put in the fucker. Okay. All right. Nice.
Okay.
Ooh, you're going to be training for what? And can I watch skits? Oh, never mind. That's the wrong training. That's something different. We'll talk about that later. All right. And I love how this was like 201. How did you get it to be 201, you weirdo?
you can tweak the numbers to get
no, I know.
But yeah,
I know.
still.
But why 201? Never mind.
I know. It's a conspiracy number, just honey.
Oh, I
number.
forgot.
201's a conspiracy number.
That is the code for the NASA thing, right?
Yeah,
that thing they just sent us.
Slim!
Exactly. I mean, never mind.
Slim, you're gonna get us shut down.
Bad Slim.
Oh.
Okay.
It was compensating Melissa. That was $1.99 that made it.
Oh, I get. Okay.
No, it actually is a conspiracy number. I'm working on a debate for FTFE, and he's debating this guy named 44, and he brings up all these different. He's a numerologist nut, and he brings up this 201. All these things are 201 in it. I'm just like, oh my god, yes.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
So I'm working on that right now. A little debate short right now for him.
Oh hell yeah! I love fucking people that are like number nuts, where they like think that numbers mean so many things.
Yeah, and there's like different gematria calculators.
Yeah,
and just,
dude.
And then there's different languages with different alphabets and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's redonkulous, especially when somebody ebbs and flows from different languages to get their math. It's like, yeah, honey, you can take any word from any multiple languages.
You can make a code out of anything and make it work for you.
Duh, obviously. I mean, so okay, let's start blowing into the idiocracy of.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. So this is the forbidden archaeology, lost giants of America. The Smithsonian's biggest secret.
This episode of the Y-Files is brought.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, here we blow. Hold on.
Indian mythology.
Let me get just right there. We
for
go.
some reason, has been covered up.
Sure, it has, buddy.
It's always for some reason, right?
Yeah. There's always
To say giants don't turn up in history books isn't exactly accurate. Many ancient cultures refer to giants. In Indian mythology or the Vedas, there was a time called the Satya Yuga, or the Golden Age, when all of humanity existed in complete harmony. Humans during this time were believed to be 32 feet tall.
32 feet, dude. You guys are on crack. How much LSD are you guys smoking?
I'm sorry, we have quite literally worked out the size that the human body could maximize at, and there are humans that struggle with bone deformities once they reach 7 foot, right?
At least that.
And you think they can structurally cope with being 32 foot, and not only that, 32 feet. Okay, let's say that's true. Then how big of a stride would those people have, and how would they coexist on the earth at that height with multiple of them? How would there be trees big enough to provide food for them? How would there be animals still alive today? Because the sheer amount of calories you would need to consume to fuel a body of that size is so big that they would have wiped out all fucking food sources on the planet. It makes no sense.
How do you spell birth? God damn it. I can't remember how to spell birth right now.
Birth.
God, son of a bee thing. I don't know. Dude, my brain is frying right now because it's so hot. Birth of, there we go.
And there is 2 people backstage.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there as fast as possible.
Oh, that's why you need to type it.
Yeah,
and for some reason,
Canadian.
Yeah, but for some reason it's not saved. Normally it's saved, but it's not for some reason right now. So that's why we're gonna go through there. Okay, so let's bring in our first next guest.
I am pleasant. Damn it! I just saw Drum eating in this morning at the Piggly Wiggly, and I smiled at the son of a bitch, for I could help myself.
How are you doing?
You can take that Bible and shove it where the sun doesn't shine, Anel. Hi, y'all.
Hello.
Howdy.
I missed y'all. Oh, summer's been crazy. I know I missed you. Apparently, I missed a lot. So I'll get with you in Discord later, Slim, because I've missed a lot. We'll talk about that privately. I missed y'all. It's been a crazy summer. You know, when you have kids, it's like you got to keep them entertained all the damn time. Like, they never told parents that, like, oh, by the way, when it's summer, you got to keep the little bastards entertained for 24 fucking 7. Just saying.
But Melissa, these days you got an app for that.
Dude, not even. They get bored with that shit. And then it's like, we always got to find something to do. And my kids are 12 to 20, you know? And it's like, my parents never had to find shit for me to do because I knew if I said I was bored, I was going to have to be like cleaning out the gutters or re-roofing the house.
Oh my God. I was
the
talking
lawn.
about this with someone the other day. How
like you never said you were bored.
Yeah, no. When we were kids, we experienced boredom, but children now,
they don't experience boredom. They don't know what to do with themselves if they're not constantly entertained. I'm like, fuck, go outside and mow the grass. I don't know. I'm not entertaining you shit. I'm tired. I'm old and I'm tired. I'm not entertaining anymore, y'all.
Okay, so let's play the intro for our next guest, and then we'll bring them in, and then we'll get into the idiocracy of this. Oh, hold on. It gets way louder later. We're just gonna get to where it gets loud because I'm not turning up. We've already done this on accident. Here we go. There we go.
Slim's over y'all complaining about shit too loud.
And there's our Canadian
In all thy sons command.
What's going on? How are you doing?
Even though
I am
like
excellent.
America is the like redheaded stepchild of Canada. Like, we're the embarrassing cousin with a mullet that nobody wants to acknowledge of Canada. Yeah. Sorry, Canada.
I'm sorry, but we wouldn't even admit it if you were the redheaded stepchild.
I feel like y'all would admit that.
We wouldn't
like,
admit
y'all are
it.
nice, but y'all would be like, America is the cousin you don't talk to at the family reunion. They're embarrassing. Okay, that's us. We're okay with that.
Yeah, well,
I could always fall back to my old Robin Williams comment on the United States and Canada.
Which is?
Canada's a really nice loft apartment over a crack den.
Pretty much. I mean, listen, it's pretty much. I feel bad for Canadians, you know. They got to deal
Don't feel
with
bad for Canadians. We got a pretty good
crazy hillbilly kinfolk over here.
You don't have to feel bad for us. We have health care.
Yeah, no, I think it's way worse in the Americas.
True,
but
Ollie,
y'all live in the frozen tundra.
We don't know what that is.
They don't know what that is.
We have no idea
what healthcare
is in America. What is
healthcare is when the people actually care about the other people, and it's part of our actual like mandate where healthcare is provided by the government.
Oh, that's in America, our motto is we don't give a fuck about you. Okay, that's our motto here, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So, anyways,
that's
why Canadians are so nice.
Go ahead, Mama.
America's like my brother when I was in high school. He's like Canada when I was in high school. I was a freshman, he's a senior. At school, he's like, "You're not my sister here. Go away."
That's right. Yeah. Go away. I don't want to be seen with you. Exactly. Like, ew, you're gross. Yeah, we have cooties, and Canada is too nice to say we have cooties.
That's funny.
Yeah. Canada. We'll still.
Hey, for all of my American friends. If you go to other countries like in Europe and stuff like that,
right?
Oh, we all say we're Canadian,
and you're guys, not one of the assholes please do sew a Canadian flag on your backpack. That way the people will treat you decently instead of treating you like the assholes they treat other Americans.
We all say we're Canadian in other countries. We all say that.
That's a great idea, but I don't think my accent is going to let me get away with saying I'm Canadian. I think they're pretty much going to
that may be a problem.
Where I live.
That may be a problem. I just say a lot, and I'm sorry. Sorry, eh?
Say
and
sorry.
Then people are like,
Sorry,
oh,
eh? Sorry, eh?
Sorry. And people are like, oh, you're Canadian.
I'm
Okay,
apologizing.
Just claim to be married to a Canadian. That might get you by.
Well, I mean, I'd love to marry a big-butted Canadian. Anyway, so we'll talk about that later.
Like the also American stereotype we have is not really the South. We'll probably think South, you're stupid, pro-gun, and the worst of the worst Southern stereotype. But we wouldn't necessarily think you're like arsehole. We would think like New York. That area is where they're so self-entitled.
It's the Midwest
it's
that
the
gives us a bad name. I don't even think
it's the posh. It's the it's the posh bitches that fucking use the thing. The Karens, and that doesn't have to be Southern,
right?
The basic bitches that are on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, I don't think it's the South. I don't think it's the Yankees. I think it's all these fucking people online.
Yeah, so right quick before we get back into the subject, because we have derailed like a mug. That's what I have to do is a derailing thing. Is I need to get a derailing emoji. Anyways,
I haven't been gone that long that we aren't derailing the chat for hours. I haven't been gone.
No, I know, no, it totally is still completely a thing for sure. But there was this fucking like bitch who's a fucking TikTok influencer, and she's like, I'm in blah blah blah, and like I'm not gonna even say where it was because I fucking can't remember. But she's like, oh my god, I had to ride a train after getting off a plane for 2 hours, and then she's like, and then I had to carry my luggage up 200 steps because they did it.
Oh, see, and like, that's why
it's like,
other countries
poor you.
Hate us, and I completely understand, but we're not like that. Like most of us are pretty much go with the flow. Like we're just going to other countries, and yes, you're going to know us because we're like, oh my gosh, look at that, because we ain't got shit to look at here in America that's not 200 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not that old. Yeah,
I mean,
well, and not just that, all of our towns and cities are made to look exactly the same, so we don't have anything that looks different.
Exactly.
Everything looks exactly the same.
Like we hate America is because we had a woman over here with her husband, army. They were on an army base. The woman pulls out of the army base, drives on the wrong side of the road up a country lane, hits a cyclist, leaves him down the side of the road unconscious to die.
Oh my gosh, is that
then she got on
okay?
a plane and went straight home to America and is refusing to come to England to be tried because she's
What's her name and what over there as an
we'll get her back American army person. She is exempt from the law.
No, she's not. Bullshit.
Wait, I'm gonna guess.
Not how that works.
Woman too, wasn't she?
Of course
she was Caucasian, wasn't she? The caucasity. I don't understand it. Like, is that person, is the cyclist okay? Can we just say that?
No, he's dead. I said
that's terrible.
Do we have
he died on the side of the road because she didn't call an ambulance. If she'd called an ambulance, he would have lived.
Oh my god.
Even diplomats that come over here, they get diplomatic immunity.
Is it 911?
Yeah.
But
if they murder somebody, they get tried for it. There's only so far you can go before. Yeah.
That's terrible.
It doesn't work that way over there.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So, welcome a new member. So, for our new member, here is the theme about. There we go.
Welcome,
thank you for becoming a member.
Welcome, Sydney Morgan, as a member.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome, sister.
Brainless. I haven't heard you in forever.
Yeah, I thought so, Sydney. I just wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And
you have two different accounts going then.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
is
what
that
it is.
our Sydney?
Yeah,
it's our city. Yeah,
Sydney.
Oh,
yeah,
She's
it's
apparently
sister.
up in my
It's
neck
sister.
of the woods, and I didn't know it. Just saying.
Well, y'all need to hang out. So wouldn't that be Interpol that dealt with that?
I don't know. Does Interpol cover?
I don't think so.
Interpol would.
It's mainly just in Europe.
I
Does it have
googled
anything
it.
to do with America?
Okay.
American Anne Sokolos has today, December 8th, 2022, been sentenced to a custodial sentence of 8 months. Suspended for 12 and disqualified from driving for a year for death by careless driving after she collided with a 19-year-old Harry Gunn in August 2019.
Wow.
Do you know that in America you get more punishment if you steal someone's cow or livestock than you do apparently running somebody over in England? That's terrible.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Listen, I know that I would immediately drive on the wrong side of the road if I went to another country like England. So I would hire an Uber driver.
Well, the major difference is the steering wheel's on the other side, unless you're driving an American vehicle.
Right,
and
like
most
I
likely
already
you're
know,
not
like I'm
anymore.
probably gonna screw it up,
Or you
because
wouldn't
I'm
be. Sorry, I mean,
so,
yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna hire
But just-
a driver.
just
and
Uber,
I don't know what y'all
or-
got over there, taxis, Ubers, whatever, to
Well,
drive me around so I don't run over somebody.
Well, one of the other things that's really amazing about being over there is their bus system and their train system. All that is
Yes.
so
True.
awesome that you don't really have
True.
to drive ever again. You can just be
Like,
sloshed
even
all
if
day.
the
and just-
trains are late, they're like late by half an hour. Like, it's not that bad. There are always
Yeah,
trains
exactly.
running at
Yeah.
least
Yeah,
once
exactly.
or twice an hour.
Yeah.
See,
The
I've
only
never
time
been
buses get a
overseas,
bit dicey
but my
is
husband
right in
has.
and then they're
Mhm.
like once an hour.
And my husband says that the public transportation overseas in Europe and whatnot and in England is superior, obviously, to ours because
Oh yeah, our buses are actually clean.
and
They
he
don't
was
smell like
living in
piss.
France for a year and absolutely loved taking public transportation. He's like, now you don't want to do that in America, you're going to get robbed.
Yeah,
but in
but
Europe,
listen,
it's great.
You know why that is?
Why?
America is
Yeah.
partly built and by the automotive industry. That's why you don't have supermarkets.
Well, there's a we could do this for fucking hours because there's redlining. There's ways that they made the suburbs outside of a place where blah blah blah. There's a whole crap ton of things that,
It's
that
a
we
red
did.
why did it set it
We're
up
not
that
gonna
way.
get. We can't get into that right
Yeah.
now. We
That's a
will
whole
get
other
into the future.
thing.
Yeah, literally, we'll be here for another hour.
Oh yeah.
It's like the crazy aunt that nobody wants to talk to at the family
Yeah.
reunions. And I wish we could change that. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's got that great aunt, right?
Yeah.
The great Aunt Ethel,
Yeah.
who's got her wig on
Yes.
crooked, smoking a Virginia 120s, drunker than shit on muscatel wine, telling stories, and never Glover mom knows. She's
What are
laughing.
those skinny?
Yeah.
What are those skinny? What are the skinny cigarettes that all?
Embarrassing.
Like the little
What are the
Virginia Slims or something.
Virginia
Those
Slims.
cigarettes?
That's it. She's smoking a Virginia Slim while drinking that. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep blowing on with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to begin this, and I'm going to go grab my pot, and then I will be right back. And then
Any new people, we never get through all the videos, so I don't know why.
Never.
people
Yeah.
think we're gonna get through.
I think most people
Never
already
happens.
kind of know that. But anyways, let's blow on.
A 43-minute video, if we get 15 minutes in, it will be a record.
Exactly. First.
In the Old Testament, there are beings called the Nephilim, and they're mentioned in Genesis.
There were giants in the earth.
And we
in
already
those
talked
days.
about that.
There were giants.
And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
One interpretation of this suggests that the sons of God were giant fallen angels who seduced human women, and their offspring were the Nephilim.
Well, how does a giant seduce a human woman? Oh, right.
Giants show up quite a bit in the Book of Enoch, one of the religious texts found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Nephilim were said to have been men of the old times who existed before the
kinky.
Great Flood.
I mean, what?
Ancient Indian texts say the same thing.
Oh my Jeebus, look at that, dude.
Slim, also with the Nephilim, like
that has to be made up, right?
It's fake.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally fake.
Yes.
It's totally fake.
That's plaster or something.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Go ahead, brainless, right quick.
Now they said like it was because of the sons of God had sex with
yes,
with the daughters of God.
Yeah.
So men
you
had
were
sex
falling
with women.
You were falling asleep when we were going over this last week. You were falling asleep while this was happening.
I know, no, but
And
I'm just
so-
pointing out like
Yes, the angels came down and the angels came down and messed with humanity and
fucked a
intermingled
bunch of
and just
fucking-
had a
that's
whole
how
bunch
they
of fun.
interpret it. But if it says the sons of God had children with the daughters of God,
Did it say that?
where does it say angels?
Dude, none of it makes any sense, bro.
It
Don't
depends on
even
the Bible,
try.
I
Don't
think,
even
but
try.
that's the reference. Yeah.
I'm too drunk to answer that question. So
Dude, don't,
She's got her
not even
margarita.
try.
She's happy.
Yeah, literally. Don't even try to make sense out of any of this bullshit.
No.
What we really need to focus in on is how all of the fossils and all of the bones disappeared. Ooh.
where did they go?
That's what the mystery is.
I won't say it's aliens,
secret.
but
It's anal worms.
Oh, I had those once. Those are terrible. I'm
I have
kidding.
no
I
idea.
never had
Oh, wait.
those. I don't know.
fucking eye, bitch.
She's got the Rita in her, honey. So we can kind of excuse what she says.
Hey, hold on. I don't know about that super ghost. Try New York transport. Try New York transport and tell me that British transport's worse. But we'll go from there.
I believe if you're in the
Wilburn doesn't
city,
leave evidence.
the transport is okay, but
Did you say it's a gay?
Outside of
He said it's
okay.
okay.
It's good, but like
He said it's gay.
Okay.
It's gay.
Oh.
It's not as good.
Okay, so here we blow. Let's keep blowing on with this, and then hear what they say.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And then once again, we talked about this last week. All of the giants were supposed to only be in the Europes and not in the Americas. So them being in the Americas was not placed right in the
Native
Bible.
Americans
So
are already here. Like they're gonna put giants
of
on
course.
a fucking boat. Like somebody would have recorded that, right? Like I'm just speaking for natives in general.
Sure.
I'm Cherokee.
And
we would have fucking noticed if a fucking giant was running around, right? Like
exactly.
wouldn't somebody have noticed that?
Yeah. There are very, very few cases of native.
There's not a lot of native giant folklore.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. There's only a couple that we've ever found, and
It's
like
very,
most of the time, it's very vague.
It's very vague, and you know
it's
what they
probably
refer
just
to the white man is either pale faces or list takers or hump grabbers, and so, but not a lot of giants.
And there's not a lot of
hump grabbers and list takers.
Yeah, so listen to what they say that they claim the ancient Indian texts say, even though there's not very much ancient Indian text because there's not really written things. They didn't really. Anyways, let's just blow on to see how the inaccuracy of this.
If there's anything written
Spoken
down.
native in this community, there's not a lot of giants yet. Although it would be cool.
And totally. So let's blow on to like laugh our arses off in a second.
The book of Samuel also introduces us to one of the most famous giants in history,
Andre?
Goliath. Goliath was a Philistine warrior who challenged
over there.
Yes,
he was not in the Americas, so it was not in the Americas.
the Israelites.
We're also Christians on panel, right? And this whole story is not. David and Goliath wasn't meant to be like there was actual giants all over the planet. It was where David, what was that, in Jerusalem or something? Like, I mean, it was Israel, right? And so the whole point of the story is that you can defeat your evil no matter how big you think it is. That's the point of the story.
It's just
allegories.
A story.
It's allegories. And poems and
yes, me and Glover Mom are Christians or whatnot. You have to think that the Bible was also written by men. And so you have to take that as men's interpretation of what God was showing them or telling them. And while there may have been a giant, it may have been like an 8-foot man. We don't know if he was 8 foot or 100 feet tall.
David could have been 4'5" for all we know.
Like
we don't know. You know, how tall were the people back in what 100
like 4 foot,
BC or something?
like 4 foot or something like that. They
4 or 5
were around
That's
there.
what I'm saying. We don't
If
know.
he was 6 feet tall, 6 feet tall, then he would have been a fucking giant. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, it's like not to like. Let me put it like let me put it a certain way. Like right, if you go to certain Asian countries or certain places around the world, you're going to be a little bit taller than a lot of people. So you're the giant technically. Like I've heard this being told when people go over to
it's an interpretation. You know what I mean?
Right? They're like, oh, you giant. You know, they're like, you're big. They're like, hey, you're huge compared. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people get taken pictures of when they go over there and stuff because like they're so much taller or whatever. Obviously Enigma and a couple other people. It was a couple other reasons, but when Enigma went over there, dude, like everybody's like, oh my god, you're this like crazy, like weird giant blue guy. You know what I'm saying? So it just matters on where you are, when, and where. And again, it's an allegory to prove that you can overcome your giants, I guess is the best way to put it or something.
Well, I think with like Asians and Japanese, if you're blonde, they're like, oh my god, picture. You know,
yeah, and that's
anything
that's
different than
partially
them.
another thing. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but
again,
I mean, that's
again,
the thing, yeah.
If it just showing how you can be different going to another country, like that's exactly what may have happened here. He may have gone somewhere else, or somebody else came into that land that looked way bigger, and then he beat them with the rock instead of the beating it, like actually beating them up or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
exactly. It's subjective.
It's very subjective. Giant is not.
You know,
yeah,
exactly.
Giant just means big.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And
yeah.
we also don't know what translation of giant it means.
Right.
So that could be very open. Again, like we've been saying, open to interpretation. It couldn't mean not necessarily his height, but his girth. You know,
right?
He looks like a giant compared to other men, or he like because he's just so fucking muscular.
They could just be talking about how big his dick is. Oh, anyways, let's keep going.
Or how great
Let's get into them talking about how these bones are disappearing in the Americas, though, because that's the major subject of this bullshit.
Yes.
And they're saying that the Smithsonian
disappearing in quotes
is conspiratorially taking away and hiding giant bones somewhere secretly so that we don't know that, so that we can disprove the Bible, so that evolution can be a thing. Anyways, sorry, did I spoil it? Never mind. Let's keep blowing into it because
no, because it's already been disproven.
Send out a champion.
Yeah, and like I think some of us there's like I think I was saying earlier, there's 3 content creators now that have like we said this behind the scenes. We're gonna show something in a second that Mama did or helped with, and then there's like another content creator that just did stuff on giants as well, and so like
I also put a link in private chats then.
Yeah. The hoax thing. Yeah, I saw that.
National Geographic talking about the hoax and how
totally.
where it started from and everything.
Yeah, so let's just go a little bit further in this, and then we will definitely remind me a little bit later, Vila, to click that.
National Geographic has fucking done an article. And they said we get so many emails about this. We've literally made an article on it to shut people up. Like
when you type in Smithsonian and giant and hiding giant skeleton bones, immediately this hoax things just come straight up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and that's why when I saw this, and I was like, do I really want to fucking do something on this? And then like I skipped through and I started listening to it, and I'm like, son of a bitch, oh fuck it, we got to do it. Like I'm like, God damn it.
Cackle. I just cackled out loud at Vila when the thing is that people have the problem is people take everything very literally.
Yeah,
yes,
totally.
they do.
Take it very figuratively.
Yes.
Like if there is a giant in your life, that could be stress, finances, relationships. You can defeat it with the littlest of faith. That's all it's telling you. It's not telling you that you're actually going to go out and fucking kill a
right?
a giant,
it's just
like Andre the Giant, and you're Beetlejuice, the little dwarf guy.
Well, it's just like when it says, if you pray to move the mountain, it will be moved. What they mean is that God's not going to actually move it. If you pray, he will give you the people that will be able to move it by digging it up or moving it or whatever. I mean, just like Jesus made all the wine and out of water, and then he made all the fish appear out of nothing and the bread. And but what he did is he was talking at a certain place, and he went to all the rich people that are around, and he goes, will you share your food? Will you share your wine? Will you share? That's what it really means. Not that he literally just made crap appear out of fucking nothing. No, he asked people to be nice, to share with the people who were under them or didn't have the food and stuff. And so there was nothing sitting on this table at first, right? That everybody was sharing. Then he went and asked all the rich people to fucking help put down some shit. And then all of a sudden that table was full. That's what it actually meant. Not that literally he fucking turned water into wine, or he made fucking nothing out of nothing, or he turned fish into bread, or whatever the fuck it is. I forgot off the top of my head.
But then again,
hey D.
It's all just metaphor.
There has no proof been found for anybody in history that was Jesus. But
well, and we can talk about this for a gazillion years, and we will get in. Maybe one of these days we'll do a whole Dead Sea Scroll episode, because that's what the whole part of it is.
Interesting.
The Dead Sea Scrolls has a bunch of other things they've already translated, and you look at it, and which books did get put in, which books didn't, and then how much information extra was there that didn't get put into it. And they reference Jesus a gazillion and a half times. Guess what? It's a really popular name, just like in Mexico. Jesus is a really popular name right now. That doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying? So you literally can take stories of like 20 people named Jesus and you throw them together and to make something, right? And then, of course, at the time they needed a fucking savior to give himself up, blah, 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 yakety schmackety, to have this revolution to make Christianity and whatever. Again, we'll go over that in another time, because like, goddamn, I would know way too much more about this bullshit.
Than you really want to. Yep.
Dude, I can't believe how many fucking Dead Sea Scrolls I fucking went through and read. Like, it's insane. And the Bible multiple times, and different versions of it too. Like, when we do these things, I have to look up like 3 different versions of Bible things sometimes. You know, I'm like, oh, the King James version. Oh, the this version. Oh, the this version. Okay, well, what are they going to claim is going to be, you know, or how do I understand this a little bit more? Anyways, let's keep blowing on. Are we starting a new religion? Well, we already kind of did that, but let's see. Jaffa Cakes mentions stilettos and the freaking with the future conspiracy derps. I like the future conspiracy derps. I like that name.
And Super goes, if you need a holy book, go to ChatGTP.
Everybody else does.
You can make one up. Yeah.
That's true.
It's a lot of fun to do that.
Allergy was also okay.
I'm looking a bit into this.
There's AI Jesus you can look at too, right?
It's saying so. In the first chapter, what's it? Goliath is told. So the story of David overcoming Goliath is told in 1 Samuel chapter 17, and yet if we turn to 2 Samuel 21:19, we
he
find
got bent over by him. Oh, never
that
mind.
Elhanan, the son of Jaregarim, I don't know, a Bethlehemite, slew Goliath. The
goddamn Bethlehemites, those fuckers.
So
no, I'm just kidding.
They're saying different people slew Goliath in
Again,
literally one chapter to the other.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me at all that Goliath is more of a title than a name just given to big people. And there's a bunch of different stories about people getting killing them.
And once again, that could be
Goliath
the
not being a name, but you being a Goliath.
Capitamally. So once again, it may not have been capitalized. It may just be a lowercase g, and it just means big tall man or bigger man than most or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Or there was
So,
there was a tale about somebody named Goliath out there that was this big man, and
they
now
just
every
tagged-
big man is being called Goliath. You must be
Right.
Goliath, and of course they say yes.
Sure.
I mean,
Or
the
how much of a
literary
conversation do you
people-
have with them?
Literally, the Bible study people who've done this are saying what's happened more likely is, in fact, so the second chapter, that Elanan, he actually slew Goliath, and in the first chapter, that's a retcon to make David have this heroic backstory and to use it as this massive thing to be look at what the power of God can do. Look at what summoning God can do.
So it's
for
basically
you.
a fishtail. It's a big fishtail.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
of course. It's just
Fishtail.
and again, it's just an allegory. It's just a fucking thing, a teaching tool, or saying if you're coming across this kind of fucking thing, you can overcome it if you are stronger than the whatever. What is Jaffa cake? What my brain almost thinks I know what it is, but what is
Jaffa
it?
cake's lovely.
Is it that like zebra cake stuff?
No, it's like a sponge, and then it's got like this orange, almost like gelatinous thing in the middle, and then it's got chocolate on the top.
Ooh, it's got chocolate. That's good.
Skip, do they have that over here? I mean, obviously Skip
could
knows, but
probably
that
get
doesn't
them in
mean that
places.
Americans do.
Yeah, you can
because
find places
he
like Trader Joe's and stuff. I would think.
Okay.
Specialty shops stuff. Yeah.
Pat Robinson,
Order them online,
a
too.
televangelist. Yeah, televangelist said Jesus is coming back to make sure Trump gets elected.
Yeah.
And that totally worked. That happened.
Well, if that's true, then
Nah.
me as an electrician is gonna make sure that he gets elected. Never mind.
Electrocuted. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Don't do that.
Shocked.
Don't do that, Super Ghost. Don't eat 10 of them at once. Anyways, let's blow on.
Yeah, it's a little calorific. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
Calorific.
God might not let you into heaven if you eat that many. Anyways, let's go.
Yeah, you'll fall through the clouds.
In for single combat. David, armed only with a slingshot and faith in God, brought the giant down with a single stone. Goliath was said to be between 7 and 11 feet tall and possibly descended from a people known as the Anakites or the Anakim. And the Anakim were descended.
Okay, so now, besides there being the Nephilim that fuck the other people, now there's 2 other type of thingy-mabobbers that may be giants from something that they're going to tell us in a second.
From the Nephilim. But references to giants in history go back even further. The ancient Sumerians had an equivalent to the Anakim, a race of gods who are sometimes described as giants.
Anunnaki.
Yep, the Anunnaki. And if you don't know who the Anunnaki are, here's a hint. Look in the mirror.
What?
Supposedly we are supposedly all of us have Anunnaki blood inside.
So we're
of us,
all giants,
supposedly.
but I'm only 5'3".
No. Supposedly it means that we are all an alien race.
Yeah, Anunnaki is
mixed
supposed
with
to be an alien
aliens.
race.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
so it's
I
an
can't deal
alien
with the
race we're
aliens.
mixed with.
I can't because I'm going to be real honest.
Well,
if there are
supposedly-
aliens, I think they drive by Earth and lock their doors.
Yeah, no, of course.
We're the bad party.
I mean, we are. Listen, we're not. We're not just the sad hillbilly cousins of Canada, but we are the embarrassment to the entire planet.
We're the bad part of the universe where you make sure you got a full tank of fuel in your spaceship before you go buy it.
Right?
You don't have to stop and get gas here.
Neighborhood,
Fuel.
y'all.
Hold on. We are the trailer park of the galaxies.
Yes.
The white trash, yeah.
Yes,
The white
we
trash
are
of the
the
galaxy.
white trash. And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all though, some of the best people live in trailer parks.
I've lived in a trailer park.
Listen, I grew up trailer trash.
I've lived next to white trash.
You don't want to go to a trailer park starting no shit, okay? I'll just tell you that. That's
I
like
can
going
proudly
to
say I
Walmart.
paid my trailer off earlier this year, so I don't
Nice. See, I grew up in a trailer, and so I see nothing wrong with them. But y'all know what other people do. And because the people that they always interview about alien sightings are, Hillbilly Brenda or whoever, and they
find
talking shit.
Well, they find the dumbest of the dumb, but we definitely are the trailer parks of the worlds, the galaxies. Everybody say hello to Commander.
Hi, Commander.
And let's see. Let's keep blowing on a little bit more, and then we will see what else Idiocracy. Because once we get to like 15 minutes, and I don't know if we'll even get there, it gets into like way crazy shit.
Okay.
Wait, crazier than this shit?
According to interpretations of ancient Sumerian and Babylonian texts, the Anunnaki were a race of extraterrestrial beings from the planet Nibiru. Now, Nibiru is not some distant planet on the other side of the galaxy, but is right here in our own solar system. It passes near Earth every 3,600 years. And this extraplanet theory was dismissed as pseudoscience for many years. But it's now widely believed that there is an extraplanet or some kind of large object in the far reaches of our solar system.
Yeah, but it's
in
not
fact, NASA has been searching for this object.
No.
It's not Nibiru or whatever the fuck you just said. It's Planet X or whatever the fuck it was.
Well,
right?
Planet X is conflated with Nibiru all the time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. Yeah, well, that's what they're trying. Yeah, exactly, Timmy. But no, it's something else that obviously isn't a thing that's like. There's no way that. Anyways, fuck it.
I did believe he said every 36 years.
36,000 or
okay, 3,600 or something like that. It's a bigger number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3,600 years, I think he said.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to go up.
I was gonna say it was 36 years, and in my lifetime, I would have seen that sucker. Okay.
Yeah, no,
never saw that sucker.
Longer.
Not
yeah,
ever
it was
once.
way longer.
Yeah, but they also said 2012 was when that's meant to come, and we still ain't seen it.
And we're supposed to be destroyed too, but
Well, hold on. It supposedly did come past us in 2012, and they did unload more aliens or something.
Supposedly.
Hold on. Just wait to let them explain.
Fast forward that part. Well, they'll do it.
Has been searching for this object for years, though they call it Planet 9 or Planet X.
Oh, they can't give Zechariah Sitchin any credit, eh?
They won't admit that, but I bet it's a big part of it. In 2015, Caltech researchers thought they found evidence for this planet. And in 2016, they said they were almost sure the planet was out there. And then in 2017, researchers agreed that data and computer models prove with almost 100% certainty a large, secret, dark planet is lurking in the distant solar system.
And what does
they expect this to be confirmed within the next few years.
Well,
and perhaps then we'll finally learn if this could actually be.
Sort of, they believe because of in space, there's seemingly some asteroids or something.
It's the light and things passing around it to see that there's something.
So like they think there's something orbiting, like there's a planet there, but there's nothing there. So they do believe that there may actually be a planet there made entirely of antimatter.
Yeah,
dark matter. That's it.
Sure. And once again, a dark planet means that like that's not inhabitable. There's nothing fucking hiding there. There's nothing hiding around it. You fucking weirdos.
And dark matter's still theoretical. It's just
it's
dark matter is just a holding place
shouldn't be a way.
Something that we don't know yet.
Whatsoever, but
right.
They think the majority of the universe is actually made of dark matter, which fair play. Like it being there or it doesn't affect our world right this second. It's either helps balance the way we are or it has no effect on us. Either way.
No, but they're saying that there's alien race that lives on there and they're using this as an alien base. That's what they're trying to get at. And there's no proof of that because of what it is.
It's like the bus. They pass by us, they get dropped off, and then the planet keeps going.
Yes, but once again, dark matter and dark energy are just two terms. They're placeholder terms until we actually come up with what they actually are and can give them true names.
Exactly.
Dark matter, dark energy could be multiple different things. We don't know. It's not all the same thing. It's just stuff that we haven't identified yet.
Correct.
Yeah, but
could for instance, be like that you actually have dark sand and dark air and dark plastic, dark water. That could be, but we don't know yet.
But once again, there's most likely not a place that's habitable for fucking anything for that. Right? Like there's no way there's any proof that anything lives there or it is hiding something because it is a blah 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 blah. No, it motherfucker is not fucking something, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's there, but like there's no way it is a fucking alien fucking civilization hiding there, because we would be able to detect things if they were there, right? Like any kind of energy source, anything that was different, anomalies, things that seem to be changing.
If they turned on a light, we would have seen them by now.
That's what,
yeah,
that's what I'm getting at. Like literally,
Exactly.
there's nothing there. You want to know why? Because fucking we don't have fucking, we can't see anything. Like duh.
What if they are antimatter, dark matter creatures?
Because anything they did would change that, though. It doesn't matter. There would be enough changing of the dark, but still, it would change enough. We would still see anomalies and other things happening there. We would see changes.
If it was some sort of energy source, we would know.
Even if it was negative energy source, some way, shape, or form, we would be able to detect it a lot more. And if they, hold on. And if they were fucking sending ships, if they were sending ships on and off of it, or they were doing things around it, we would totally see it by now.
Yeah.
There's no way they
might
could
not be able to detect magic. You know that we might not be able to detect.
That's true. Magic is beyond our capability.
Damn it! You pigeonholed me. I can't get around that. You know.
Right.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, if they're using magic as their energy source, we might
then
not
it could be anything.
That's going to be tough. Exactly.
But then again, anything that is technologically advanced enough will seem like magic.
True.
Welcome to the land of imagination.
Anything that is technically advanced enough is indistinguishable from magic to our ancestors.
Yeah, so it
and
could
it's
be
the rule
dark.
of dividing thirds or something, where it's like,
sure,
if we were to take an iPhone now, even back to the 80s, mind blown. You go, wait, the same amount of energy that's in that computer that is in this like huge hall is in your phone.
No,
mind blown.
They're
if you
gonna be
go
absolutely
to like
astounded by it.
the
yes, of course, totally. But
1500 to the gramophone, mind blown. Wait, you have this wax disc that makes this funnel play music. What?
Yeah, but okay. So
I'm sorry.
Be...
I lost track because my daughter called me. She's 17, and we're getting our noses pierced for her 17th birthday.
Nice.
I'm super excited, y'all. I've only had my belly button and ears pierced, so we're getting our nose pierced, and I'm a little bit nervous.
It's not that hard. It's not.
It's not. My daughter has two piercings. She's fine.
How bad is it though? Is it like
it's nothing like this taint piercing.
It's like
that doesn't help.
It's like a 2 or a 3 on a 10. It's like a 2 or a 3 on a 10.
Okay, so
piercing.
Yeah.
Some can say about the belly button piercing or not.
You know when your kid accidentally bops you on the nose with something, like not really hard, but a little bop on the nose, yeah?
Oh, okay. Then I can get through it if it's less than the belly button piercing, because I didn't feel anything with the belly button.
Yeah, no, it really doesn't hurt that much. It is no worse than if you get a little bop on the nose.
Okay.
The only thing is, if you've seen it where it looks like people are crying when they've got it done.
Well, yeah, it's because your nose.
It hurts. It's because that is an instinctual reaction to anything happening to your nose.
I had a tooth removed from the edge of my nose where I want the piercing, and I think that the medicine that they had to inject in my nose probably hurt worse than the actual piercing is going to hurt, because that shit hurts.
Yes.
So anytime you're putting a local in, that hurts. Right when it's going in.
Oh, it was the worst for that damn a little bitty cyst that was under the skin, and it was the worst, y'all.
Yeah, so it's going to be a piece of cake. It's not really that difficult. So anyways,
okay, so she's 17, so I'm getting it done before her, because I'm like, listen, if I have to watch you get it done, I'm probably not going to get it done. I'm all about tattoos.
Yeah.
I just got my nephew. So I just got him to give me a new tattoo. I'm fine with tattoos, but piercings, I'm like, but I think we'll be fine.
You just don't look at the needle either. You can look away. You can be doing other things.
I mean,
You can look
I
at
get,
your
I
phone.
get
I mean, as
stuck
soon
with
as
the needle
that,
every 3 months for my doctor's visit, so
well, just
needles
don't
don't
pay.
bother me, you know. But like I remember my belly button piercing, I felt nothing. She was like, "Oh, we're done. Like, take a deep breath, whatever, you know what all they say." And I was like, I didn't feel anything. So I'm like, is my nose going to be worse
No,
than the
it's
belly button
easy.
piercing or not?
Easy.
Not at all. Nose is one of the least painful ones. Just make sure you
Right.
get it done with a needle and not a gun. If anyone tells you
we're
you can
going to
pierce
a
the nose with a gun,
piercing
they are
shop.
fucking lying to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
so
we're
anyways-
going to a professional tattooer piercing shop, an actual tattoo.
Right, let's get back
shop.
on. Let's get back on the tracks before.
Sorry,
Right.
y'all. I had to share that.
Wait,
I know
are we at
Slim
10
has a
minutes
lot
into
of
this
piercing.
video?
The tracks cannot be found anymore.
Okay, so
The grass is
10
growing
minutes
over
into
the
the video
tracks.
yet?
We can't find it.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so really quick.
Yeah, the train is coming. It's rolling round.
Around the bend.
Okay, hold on. I want to read this right quick. God damn it. It could be dark
Sorry.
anal beads and a long list of could bees.
Could
It's
bees.
just
Mm.
a placeholder, like Alleman said. So, anyways, let's keep blowing on. Xenu and the emotional spirit spiders, exactly. Fucking, oh my jeebus, and all the
Can I
other
just
weird,
say-
crazy. So, yeah.
Anal beads made me say ew. I don't know why. I've never tried them, but it just seems like ew.
I mean, if you
Things
know how
make
to.
you ew.
I mean, it seems
I
like
just think
a
of that
lot
too,
you
Vila.
have to do beforehand.
Well,
to
of course,
do
yeah, you
the
definitely.
anal, and it's like,
Well,
not
it's
fun.
getting those nerves touched and pushed actually is a lot of fun. But yes,
But you're a man. You have a prostate, so I'm
No.
wondering if it's the same for a woman. You see what I'm saying?
It is a lot. It's a
It's
lot
in-
different. It is different, but making a woman squirt from pulling out anal beads is fucking amazing. Anyways, we'll
Oh,
talk
it
about
just
that later.
Sounds like a
So-
lot.
No, you do. You have to go through a lot to make sure things are clean before things happen, for sure. But we're talking about vagina spirit spiders? Yeah, totally. Anyways, let's keep blowing on. I need to go get more ice, so we're just gonna play this for a second, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
The planet Nibiru, home of the Anunnaki. Now, according to the tablets, when the atmosphere on Nibiru started to deteriorate, the Anunnaki came to Earth for resources, specifically water and especially gold. And after their slaves rebelled, the Anunnaki needed a new workforce. And they performed genetic experiments on different Earth animals to try to create a new slave race. Eventually, they were successful. By splicing DNA from the Anunnaki with cavemen called Homo erectus, a new species emerged, Homo sapiens. In Sumerian and Babylonian texts, this new species was called the first men, or Adamu. And the Hebrews translated this to be men of Adam.
No.
The first men were bred to work for the Anunnaki. The Hebrew word avad means work for. Avad also means worship. And so humans worshipped their gods, the Anunnaki, who were giants compared to puny humans. Though it was forbidden, some Anunnaki bred with humans, and their offspring became known as the Nephilim. Now, obviously, the story of the Anunnaki needs its own episode. So if you'd like to see that,
Yes, please.
if you'd like to see that, let me know. The tablets say the next time Nibiru passed near the inner solar system,
Then-
it caused severe electromagnetic disturbances, dark
That
spots.
goes against the Bible. Okay. Just now, it's like we were
Oh my
created
God.
by the Anunnaki.
Did I get that the Genesis in the Bible, Adam, it was actually from Sumerian texts? That wasn't actually somebody named Adam.
Yeah.
It was somebody else with a different name, probably in the Sumerian text.
The T mechanism for the uterus
Yeah, I
is something
don't
I
think
never
in
tried.
Area, Adam would have been a word.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Appeared on the sun, and waves of color streaked the sky. This is referring to extreme aurora borealis and australis, indicating a weakening of the Earth's magnetic field, with less protection from.
Wait,
Actually, no, that's not the aurora borealis. Is
It's
just
strengthening.
what it
or
is.
Being hit.
It's being hit. It's just the solar whatever it is hitting it. The
Solar
radiation
wind.
whatever hitting it and making it light up. That's what
the
the aurora borealis is.
Exactly.
has a
It's not a
noise.
weakening.
It's not a weakening. No.
What's
it makes
its
a
noise?
as well. Like that's fucking weird. It makes a
it's
noise.
kind of a
Much like
howling noise.
thunder, you know.
Does it go bounce? Go bow wow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
That's just our sister, Slam.
Oh, or I thought that was just inside my head. That happens all the time. Never mind.
I mean, I am inside your head.
I mean, but I just imagine you in my head going bounce bounce wow wow wow, you know.
I am. I'm literally gonna go bounce wow wow chicken wow wow wow.
Okay.
I don't know if at the time it matters. Different times of the year, different places. I can see the aurora borealis.
Like just recently, it was seen as far down as somewhere in North America.
It was seen all over the place here because
we had it as well, and there's also the Southern Lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's that explanation? They always mention the Northern Lights, but that shows how unresearched they are. Then what happened to the Southern Lights? And if it were the magnetic poles having issues, why are the Northern Lights and the Southern Lights not happening in unison?
Right.
Don't get too logical.
They're not that smart.
Well,
Okay,
I
let's keep
have
going.
to be
On the sun's
smart
energy.
sometimes. My dumb ass has to say something good once in a while.
Okay,
So somehow the magnetic field is
She has to
less
show that we
protected
women
from the
do have
sun.
smarts and opinions. Okay.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh no, opinions.
the
I
ice
have
caps-
too many of. Smart, they're the one that's lacking.
Yeah. true.
Okay, let's see how the sun's energy and the ice caps do
melted,
something.
and a great flood swept across the entire planet. To escape the devastation, the Anunnaki boarded skyships with their gold and returned to Nibiru.
Yeah, geez.
But on Earth, great cities were destroyed and sunk beneath the waves.
Is
when
this
the waters
the version
finally
of
receded,
flood? Oh
only
my
a
god, the version of Noah's flood. Oh my god.
This is the global flood.
small number of humans were left to rebuild civilization. And this creation myth is told in almost every culture on Earth. And recently,
because
You
every
know
place
why?
on Earth is flooded. Everywhere.
Yeah, things flood on Earth. Ta-da!
Everyone.
No, the
Every place.
Anunnaki making fucking genetic experiments. No, and here's the weird thing, right? It's only these like Johnny come latelys talking about the Anunnaki that are talking about all this weird shit, right? The original Anunnaki that I heard about, it was going like how there were two lots that came down. One came down there, the Anunnaki, and then there's another one. And the Anunnaki are very right brain oriented, left brain orientated.
Okay.
So they were highly empathetic and they wanted to help human, and they were like very giving and loving and like empathetic. And then the other ones came down and they came from Mars, and Mars is the way it is because they nuked the planet because they're the evil ones. And they were very right brain orientated, and they were the ones that came up with all these like inventions and things
This sounds
like that.
something very political, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's on spirit science. Like
Of course.
Fucking
That guy. Oh my god. Yes.
Spirit science.
Okay, anyways.
That dude, yes.
But like,
we're starting to discover evidence
They're so different.
that a great flood did indeed occur. But what about evidence of giants? Well, there is evidence, and some of that evidence has been found right here in our own backyard.
In America? Nuh-uh, you're lying.
It's full of shit.
Many Native American tribes tell of the long forgotten
Vikings came to America.
existence of a race of humans that were much taller and stronger and sometimes more cruel than ordinary men. The Choctaw tribe has a legend about the Nahulo, a race of giants who ate human flesh. The Choctaw killed these giants whenever they could. Eventually, those giants were driven west. The Paiutes
not
settled
much
in
of
the
a god
Nevada
if you kill
desert.
with a bow and arrow.
Okay, sure. Maybe they talked
Citation
about
needed.
well, and not just that. Maybe there was a family of giants because it can be a hereditary thing. So maybe
Could
there was
be.
there was like 3 or 4
Right.
people together. Maybe and they were
Listen.
the thingy mowers they were talking about. And
Can
once
I-
again, if people are like too big, too small, most of the time they might get pushed out of society, and then they may have to fend for
Thank you.
themselves. So
True.
So I think this is
People
just a
back
small
then
anomaly.
only
I don't.
lived to like what 30 years old or some shit, and they were considered elderly at like 80 years old. So I mean, we have to take it in.
Yeah.
Now I will tell y'all a very funny story. There is a family of dwarfs that live in our town, and all the women were dwarfs, but the men were regular sized people.
Okay.
I don't know why it happened that only the women were dwarfs, because you're not supposed to call them,
definitely
the M word. That's right.
Little people.
It's a gene thing
Right.
for some
And
reason.
so
For some
my
reason, it
dad went
only
out
affects-
because my dad was a heavy drinker, and I remember he went out and throw all his beer cans in the dumpster, and the women who were the dwarfs in the family, they would collect cans out of people's dumpsters, and so they're very sweet people. However, when one jumps out at you at the dumpster while you're trying to throw away your Safer Light cans, it tends to scare you. And my dad slammed down the dumpster and he yelled, "There's a midget in the dumpster." I'm like, so he promptly got her out of the dumpster, and he said, "Listen, honey, she said, I noticed you have a lot of cans in your dumpster," because he drank a lot of Schaefer Light.
Of course.
He said, "I will put them beside the dumpster." She was like 4'1". I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Like all the women in the family were teeny tiny. What I'm saying is that when they say giants, it could be that everybody else is like 4 foot, 5 foot tall, and they're like 6 foot, 7 foot tall. It don't mean they're an actual giant. It just means they're taller than your ass, right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. There are genetic disorders that sometimes happen to where people will become a little bit taller, a little bit shorter.
Andre the Giant had that genetic disorder. I actually knew Andre. He was a very sweet man, but he was 8 feet tall. And he hurt. And he could drink a 30 pack
he
of
suffered
beer.
badly for his height. Like he had so many medical
Andre
problems.
All of them did.
Actual. It was like I don't even know how to describe the pain that
most
he was
of them.
in.
Well,
it
most
was
of them
such
don't live very long. It's because your
they
body
don't,
can't.
and he was only in his 30s when he passed away.
Your heart can't beat that much blood around that.
Right. That's the thing.
And all these things,
all your organs
your liver,
are normal sized.
Right.
They don't grow to your size.
Exactly.
They do a little bit, but yes, but it's really hard for all of that to happen. And that's why a lot of these people don't live very long. So just once again, this is probably just a family of people that may have had gigantism or a version of it.
Well, we also don't know like what adornments they had, right? So stilts or headdresses that made them look larger. We already know that a lot of tribes use psychological warfare with these things, and that like people that did scalping or ate human meat, they didn't necessarily eat human meat. They did it to fuck with people's heads to make them seem scarier.
Right. That's why Comanche scalped the pale faces or hump grabbers, as they called them, was to
I love that word, hump
deter
grabbers.
other hump grabbers is the best. That's what tabo means. So if someone calls you a tybo or a tabo in Comanche, it means hump grabber.
Yeah. Okay. So let's keep going.
Thousands of years ago, and passed down the story of a race of red-haired giants called the Sitka. And the Sitka literally means tule eaters, and tule is a strong type of reed found in swamps. Legend says the giants built rafts out of tule and arrived in Nevada thousands of years ago. But tule wasn't the only thing that the giants ate. Like the Nahulo, Sitka also ate humans.
A little bit larger people.
The Sitka waged war on the Paiute and all other neighboring tribes. The human tribes fought bravely, but the giants were too strong. The Sitka would often eat the people captured in battle. So after years of conflict, the tribes united, and that turned the tide of war. And in the final battle, the red-haired giants were driven into a cave. The tribes stuffed the cave entrance with sticks and brush and set it ablaze. The last remaining Sitka either suffocated or burned alive. Sarah Winnemucca Hopkins, daughter of Chief Winnemucca, was the first to write down and print the story of the Sitka. But she said this wasn't a legend, it was history. She even wore red hair taken from a giant woven into some of her clothes. When mining engineer John T. Reed...
It sounds like Irish or somebody of red hair descent that did come over there for a hot second. And I don't know what time period exactly we're talking either. This could have been like kind of recent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if this was like ancient, or if this was like when the white man did start coming over already. You know what I'm saying?
I think ancient for the sort of shit they were saying.
What does that
I'm gonna
mean?
be honest. Natives did not understand. They did not see pale-faced people for how many years, and then we finally saw them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's not again, not Viking.
And a lot of natives, especially like my tribe is Cherokee. We're not great, big, huge people. We're not.
Yeah,
6
of course.
foot
That's what I'm saying. Of course.
We're smaller
most
people.
Most natives to not to be a dick.
We're not huge people.
Yeah,
we're small people.
Is there an actual
why do
huge
you need to be
differentiation
huge?
between legend and history? Because from what I gather, legend is history for a lot of tribes because it's the spoken legend, which is history.
But when we say in native things, it's a giant, we don't mean it's 19 feet tall. What we mean is it's bigger than us. It's a big pill-faced person we've never seen before. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah, no, of course. And that's what we said again. So
my ancestors have never seen red-headed people. They didn't know what that was. And so these people come over and they're 6'4" and we're 5'4".
I'm trying to not. Yeah, well, of course it is Ox, and I'm trying to be as formidable as possible. Like, it's not.
I mean,
that's
what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying.
Natives are not huge people. Natives were never great big. When you think about like Geronimo, Sitting Bull, several of these.
Hold on. Yeah, and hold on. Once again, what this is proving is how we're actually over accenting this stuff. What we're trying to get to is supposedly the Smithsonian hid giant bones as a conspiracy to hide giants from. That's why I know. And just because there are these legends and there's these things about these cultures experiencing people from a different place, doesn't dismiss it, and we're totally we believe again. Once again, it's when and where and how and like what size. And then let's get further into when they actually talk about this part. Let's get further into.
It is a bit. I get Ox's frustration because like. This dude, he doesn't actually give a shit about the plights of native people.
No.
And yet he's using cherry picking individual tribes' history, mishmashing it together like all native tribes are one thing with a cohesive all about, and then going like, look, here's my theory, it's proven.
But the other thing that's fucked up, hold on really quick. The other thing that's fucked up is they're using it to fucking push the fucking Christian narrative, the Bible.
Oh God, yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the other thing we keep overlooking. They're doing this to like make the Bible seem more true.
Like the fucking Bible didn't do enough damage to the poor people. Now still got to shit on their fucking graves with regurgitated bullshit that we've stuffed down and crapped out on their grave from the Bible. Brilliant.
Well, and
Thank
I will
you.
say this. As a Christian as a Native American, what I will say is natives have always believed in a creator and a below. There's always been a creator and there's always been a devil, although they didn't call it that, right? But natives weren't these gigantic, huge people. Most tribes that you see, the men are 6 feet or under. So all it took was for somebody a little over 6 feet, and that was considered a giant.
Right.
And there's so many other things that we're not taking into account.
And
They
we
could be
never
wearing
saw
armor.
a pale-faced hump grabber before. So if
really
you come
quick.
in and you're 6'5" and you're a pale-faced list-taking hump grabber, we think you're a fucking giant.
God, I love that word.
Well, and not just that, really quick. Let's get. Let me read this. So the Navajo had many stories of giants that once walked the land. Definitely. The other thing is if somebody's like wearing like armor or something, then they're gonna look a lot bigger and they're gonna look way more intimidating. So you're gonna say something.
And
So
the
we've already said this over and over.
Navajo are different.
Yeah, and so really quick.
That's what people don't understand. The Navajo, the Comanche, the Sioux, the Lakota, the Cherokee, on and on
So
and on.
let's get into.
We're all different. We don't
so let's
all
get
have the same
into
experiences.
totally. So hold on. Yes, of course. Let's get into the idiocracy of the white man talking about the giants in the Americas, not just in the native sense per se. So let's listen to this bullshit.
Some researchers, like Richard Hamilton, believe the location for Serpent Mound was chosen specifically because of these anomalies. And for many years, there have been stories of freak weather patterns, UFO sightings, and strange lights in the area. And also found near Serpent Mound remains of giants. In 1872, a report appeared in the book Historical Collections of Noble County, Ohio. Someone had stumbled across enormous skeletons.
The remains of 3 skeletons were found whose size would indicate they measured in life at least 8 feet in height. The remarkable feature of these remains was they had double teeth in front, as well as in back of the mouth, and in both upper and lower.
Except for what happened to them?
Or jaws.
That seems like
Upon
a
exposure
lot of
to the
teeth
atmosphere.
to brush.
Yeah, hold on, but listen to what happened to them.
A lot of teeth to brush if you got to brush all your front teeth. I don't know how many are there. And then you got to brush all your back, the back teeth, and then you got to. That seems like a lot. I don't think.
Why would humans have 2 rows of teeth? That doesn't.
We
make
don't
any
need
sense.
2 rows of teeth. All we need are the canines.
It doesn't make any sense.
How do
So
they
listen,
know
hold
it's
on.
2 rows? Like, is this not a broken up skeleton that they've pieced together wrong?
Thank you.
Hold on, just wait. Listen to what happens to the bones. Anyways, just you're thinking too deep. Just wait.
The skeletons crumbled back to Mother Earth.
I know. Hold on.
You already know how this panel thinks.
No, I know. But just listen to what happens after this.
In 1891, anthropologist Frederick Ward Putnam found large skeletons in the same area that measured 7 feet or taller, with skulls twice as thick as a human's. In 1894, a local
thick skulls don't mean shit, you weirdo.
Motherfucker with a
farmer found unusual
problem.
Yeah, but anyways, listen to what happens after this.
graves. The find was even covered by the New York Times.
Farmer Warren Cowan recently discovered several ancient graves a mile from the famous Serpent Mound, where Professor Putnam of Harvard made interesting discoveries. Upon opening one of the graves, a skeleton of upwards of 6 feet was brought to light. In another grave was the skeleton of a man equally large. It seems that the region was populated by a fairly intelligent people, and that the Serpent Mound was an object of worship.
Yeah.
Why does it mean they're intelligent if they're big? What the fuck does that have to do with
I know.
weirdo?
Big skulls, big
crackheads.
Thank you, Slim. If they're 6 feet or above, and I'm drunk as shit, but if it's 6 feet or above, they're intelligent. If you're 6 feet and below,
Oh my god, how stupid is that? That has nothing to do with intelligence.
What does that have?
Wait, so I'm the smartest here?
Who is
Technically,
7'1". I have a cousin.
But again,
that is 7'1",
citation needed.
and we call him the missing link because he is a fucking idiot. Y'all, we call him Baby Kiwi. Like the bigger they are, the stupider they are.
I know exactly.
Right?
Totally. That has nothing
over
to do
6 feet. They're fine. They're smart.
Yes.
What the fuck kind of pale-faced shit is this? I don't get
exactly.
it.
Okay. Let's keep blowing on.
Ross Hamilton writes about giant skeletons found in Miamisburg Mound, about 70 miles from Serpent Mound.
The body of a man more gigantic than any ever recorded in human history has been found in the Miami Valley in Ohio. The skeleton, it is calculated, must have belonged to a man 8 feet 1.5 inches in height. It was found within a half mile of Miamisburg, in a location which contains many relics of the mound builders. Edward Gebhardt and Edward Kaufman discovered it.
And these are not the photos of this bullshit. Anything you see in the
of course
background,
it's not.
this is not. Yeah, this is not any of this. No,
that the
no, it is
photos of
not.
The actual man.
No,
that was
no,
made
this
for-
is fucking not.
And
This is
listen,
all
like I
fake.
said,
While they were
It's
working,
just filler.
We all
It's just
know
filler
somebody
photos.
with a pituitary problem that grows
Yeah, of
way
course.
too fucking
Uh-huh.
fast, right?
Yeah,
It's a
we all know that's a
pituitary
thing.
problem.
If they
It doesn't
found
mean they're smarter.
if they found 12 feet skeletons, then we'd have a thing. But listen to what happened supposedly to these things.
in a gravel pit. Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of prehistoric anthropology, Smithsonian Institute, says of the find,
"The authenticity of this skull is beyond any doubt. Its antiquity is unquestionably great, though it is impossible to have a good guess as to its age."
And then what happens to it? I know they haven't said that yet, and then like it will
Yeah,
be a
what
thing in a second.
To my own personal knowledge,
It will be a thing in a second.
several such crania were discovered in the Hopewell group of mounds in Ohio.
Hamilton said the bones were put on display at a local museum, but they're no longer anywhere to be found.
Of course.
And just a short trip down the
What? They disappeared somehow, way,
They
shape, or form, and
disappeared
nobody
somehow.
and
That's
there's no
right.
records of them, and all of a sudden they're not around.
So
Oh,
we have to take
geez, how
his
does
word
that-
for it. We can't verify it on our own.
Yeah,
Does he
but the
mean
Smith- but hold on.
museum or does he mean sideshow?
He said museum.
Hold. Yeah, well, we're getting.
But I get what
into
you're saying,
that.
Vila.
We're
Yeah.
getting into that meat and we're getting into that meat and potatoes in a second. Just wait. But right now, what does it say at
Where
the
did they
top
go?
right of the screen? The Smithsonian.
Who stole the
Is-
boat?
Well, that's what we're getting at. They're going to tell us in a second, I believe. So
The
just
natives didn't
just
steal
wait.
them. We don't fucking want them. We can't do anything with them if they're not native.
Yeah. So hold on. Here's how this blows.
But wait,
This guy.
there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
Okay, so here we go. Let's get into this.
the Ohio River Valley, another extraordinary skeleton was found. In 1959, Dr. Donald Dragoo, curator for the Carnegie Museum, unearthed a 7-foot 2-inch skeleton during the excavation of the Cresap Mound in West
But hold on. What happened to it?
Virginia. In 1868, a report surfaced that quarry workers with the Sauk
But wait, what happened to it?
Rapids Water Power Company unearthed the remains of a 10-foot tall skeleton along the shore.
So now,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
so now we're at 10-foot tall skeleton.
Now we went from 7 feet.
7 feet
10
2
feet tall.
to 10 feet tall.
Okay. Wait, hold on real quick.
I don't understand how we went from 7 feet to 10 feet tall.
No bones.
We
no bones.
literally went from
7 feet. To 10
yes,
feet
which
tall.
we had hold on, which we had skeletons of, right? We had
Right.
skeletons of this, right?
7 feet tall.
Listen to how we don't have the skeletons anymore to these motherfuckers. And they said they sold them to the sideshows. We don't have any proof of which sideshow where and I studied sideshows and they never
sideshow.
they never fucking had real 10-foot skeletons. I have like proof from working in the sideshow industry, in the traveling circus and sideshow in the Americas. We don't have any proof of any skeleton being that large. So just listen to what they're going to say right now. So
Because wouldn't that be, Slim? Wouldn't that be a major attraction? Like I have a cousin that's 7
well,
foot.
not just
1,
that.
and we call him the missing link because he is
Yeah, of
tall,
course.
but he is stupid as fuck. Right? His name
Yeah,
is
of course.
Lane. We call Lane the missing link. When he
Yeah, and not-
dies, we're gonna sell him to the museum. All right? No, I'm kidding, y'all. But you see, what I'm saying? Like 7 foot tall ain't that big of a fucking deal no more,
Sure.
right? So,
And-
wouldn't that be a major thing if they had a 10-foot skeleton?
Why would the Smithsonian sell this to a carnival, sideshow, or traveling exactly. If they had, and you know what the thing that fucking
would never.
Okay, I'm doing this. Hold on. I'm doing this again to us.
Right.
You want to know the other motherfucking thing about skeletons and fossils that they have in the fucking museums? They make fucking plaster casts of it, bro. They don't use the real fucking bones. Why would they?
The same with dinosaur bones. They use ground up chicken bones and make bones out of it.
They don't put the real fucking fossils out there for the little kids to spit on and fart on and to sneeze on.
Because they're valuable.
It's not exactly.
Not every museum in America has fucking T-Rex bones. That ain't fucking real.
Yeah.
Like you can't go to Mayberry, USA, and see a fucking T-Rex. That's where I live. All right, that ain't fucking true. Like
hold on.
You see what I'm saying? It's
I know.
Like
hold on.
For a thing, for it to be a bigger thing than it was.
I just watched like a bunch of fucking amazing fucking female skateboarders going to a museum, and they were alling over raptor fucking bones. They had like made this ramp.
But were they really?
Like 30. Dude, well, it's fake fossils. You know, it's a raptor fossil sculpture, but it's not real. So if they accidentally fucking knocked it over, oh my God, they have to replasterize resin to make it.
About.
Yeah, it's not real, even if it is.
To show us actual fossils. Do I believe there were dinosaurs? Probably. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never found a fucking dinosaur bone. I've never even fucking.
I'm pretty sure that all that motherfucking stuff happened.
I am Cherokee, card carrying Cherokee, on the doll's roll sheet, and I've never found a arrowhead or any. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, but I have in California. In California, you can find fossils and you can find arrowheads easily.
And I'm sure you found the other day. Like,
let me see if I can find this bull, which is hilarious. It was just awesome.
I think it gets like, I don't know the word I'm trying to use here because I'm a little bit buzzed, but it gets very fuzzy because scientists want us to believe this, and then other people want us to believe this, and it's somewhere in the middle. Does that make sense? Like, I totally believe that there were bigger creatures than us running around, right? But I've never seen any actual fossil of that fucking animal. And you can't trust anything that's government run because it's all got their opinion.
Well, I found them, so.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The thing with science is,
I found them. So
if you say
I would love to, Slim. I would love to find some.
Yeah, no, but with science, if you say something and somebody can disprove it, they will. They will disprove it.
And that's what peer reviewed stuff is. Okay, let me refresh this. Hold on.
But as a card carrying Cherokee, I've never found a fucking fossil.
Well,
I was trying to say, there's literally been a case where a person that works for a museum got discovered selling papyrus, right? And they are facing serious fucking criminal issues if someone had actually sold these ancient things off. They would be in so much trouble. And like
I know
mentioned in the chat about Robert Waldo, that's really fucking sad because he died. Yeah. And he said, I don't want to be put in a sideshow when I die. I don't want to be put in a sideshow when I die.
Well,
and
that happened, and then
coffin. They followed his coffin and stole the body. That's a very different game. Like,
native or different people were put in sideshows to, you know what I mean, like the bearded woman and things like that. My thing is that when do we trust the government to tell us the truth, and when do we not?
Well, see, museums are government run, but they are not run by governments. So
like, I've been to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. It's a wonderful exhibit.
I think what you're trying to say, Slim, is
suggest
government
everyone
funded.
Go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's not run by a government. It's just given money by it. So it's the archaeologists that are doing this. And now we have so much information to fill in the gaps for all of these different evolutions of the thingamabobbers. And we do have a lot of fill in the gaps. We do have a lot of,
and that's the difference with technology, where we can fill in the gaps, whereas 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago, if someone said, oh, I found an old bones of an Indian burial ground or whatever, we just went, oh, okay, instead of actually researching it. You know what I mean?
Well, nowadays,
now we can research it and figure out, okay, it was just a guy with a pituitary problem. He wasn't a giant Indian.
Yeah, and we figured out a lot more now. There's like a lot, when we thought there was like males, we thought there were male skeletons when we saw them with hunting devices, and then they actually went back recently and were like, oh, it's actually a female, and women were actually way more involved in a lot of this.
Well,
so
and that's now, what I'm saying is that
that's why I'm saying and nowadays we're trying to get more closer to the truth nowadays.
We need to understand the tribes. All you have to do is go to them and ask them, like with Comanche tribes and Apache tribes, which were, prevalent around the plains or the south of America, as far as Texas, New Mexico, that kind of thing. The women did the hunting. The women were warriors. The women owned all the land and all the property rights and the name rights. Whereas that's completely different from what we think about now. Whereas the men hold all the that was never the same. And so when they say, oh, we found these giants in America, that doesn't mean they were giants. It means they were taller than the motherfuckers that were here to begin with.
Yeah, so we went over that. Yes, totally. Okay, so let's there was a gentleman who bought
Slim a super chat for a shot.
Or just throw me $5 at the PayPal or whatever. It's pinned at the top. But anyways, there was a gentleman who thought he bought a Dead Sea Scroll for $1 million. When he found out it was fake, he actually offed himself or made himself unalive. So that's horrible. But anyways, let's watch this that I was speaking about earlier.
The Natural History Museum tonight. We're going to turn this place into a skate park.
Nice. Yeah.
Listen, that girl's cute and can skateboard. Hell yeah.
We're at the Natural History
That was
Museum
awesome.
tonight.
That was sweet.
Stop it. There we go.
I can't skateboard or lacrosse. So if you can do both, good for you, girl. Go out and do it.
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
With your boobs
And they're
out,
still
go skateboard. Yeah.
And they're still taking away y'all's land and all that fucked up shit. So if we can figure out a way to make that not as much happen, we would love to help. And we've tried with a lizard stream.
Is that no reportations or whatever they're saying is ever going to make up for like the 12 years, which is what my great grandmother, my great great grandmother went through. You see what I'm saying? What we can do is go to a reservation. Don't go there for gambling. Don't go there for anything except for looking around at the poverty level that reservations have.
Yeah.
They drink Windex to get drunk because most reservations still won't allow alcohol.
You're going really robot.
You're robot.
Robot.
So anyways, let's blow on just a little bit more and then we'll go from there. But now this is talking about other thingamabobbers.
Towards of the Mississippi River.
I wanted to
a few days later, the bones were nowhere to be found. Rumored to have been whisked
they disappeared
east on a late night train and sold to the circus. In 1897, the Worthington Advance describes the Smithsonian Institution's work on the Eastern Mounds in Iowa. The paper quoted the director of the Bureau of Ethnology, John Wesley Powell.
It is a matter of official record that in digging through a mound in Iowa, the scientists found the skeleton of a giant who, judging from actual measurement, must have stood 7 feet 6 inches tall when alive. The bones crumbled to dust when exposed to the air.
In Steelville, Missouri, there's a documented case.
So once again, they don't have the evidence.
Case from the Steelville Ledger, June 11th, 1933.
An ancient Ozark giant dug up near Steelville. A boy looking for arrowheads turned up the complete skeleton of an 8-foot giant. The grisly find was brought to Dr. R.C. Parker here and stretched out to its enormous length in a hallway of his office, where it has since remained the most startling exhibit Steelville has ever had on public view.
Some believe these Midwest giants traveled west and occupied all of North America, and perhaps they made it all the way to the Pacific. San Diego, California has reports of enormous remains found all over the area. A giant skeleton found in 1895 measured 8 foot 4 inches. The skeleton was carefully inspected and measured by Professor Thomas Wilson and other scientists. Wilson was an anthropologist for the Smithsonian Institution. Also in Southern California on Catalina Island,
just because he worked for them doesn't mean shit, you weirdo.
Archaeologist Ralph Glidden found a total of 3,781 skeletons.
Where the fucker is that proof, motherfucker? 3,781 skeletons.
Probably found a mass grave.
Yeah, but he's saying they're literally saying this is of huge people. There's no way that they were huge.
The Channel Islands between 1919 and 1930. In 1833, Mexican soldiers were digging a pit for a powder magazine at Lompoc Ranch.
Again, where did all those fucking bones go? Literally,
exactly. Where are they?
They sell them all off, and especially if you had like museum organizations that were like funding these people to do this, like they would have been taken to those museums or sold to other museums around the world or put somewhere local or something. Like, where did this all go?
Rancho, California. They hacked their way through a layer of gravel and found a 12-foot-long sarcophagus. The skeleton of a giant man was found inside. The grave was surrounded by carved shells, huge stone axes, two spears, and thin sheets of quartz. And the sheets of quartz were covered with symbols. And he had another interesting feature, a double row of teeth, both upper and lower. Over the past 200 years, more than 1,000 accounts of...
Once again, what happened to all that shit? You just fucking brushed that off right after you said it. They found a 12-foot sarcophagus and a fucking thing and a blah, 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 whatever, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Again, it's where they claimed it was from. Of course you never saw it because it's fucking fake. It's not real. So, yeah. And then now they're saying they found all of these. There could be multiple Lompoc's, but I think it's the one in California.
I think so because they're talking about Paiute Indians. They're in primary.
Yeah, no, and it was, you know, they said California and then
Winnemucca, that's in Nevada. So, yeah, they were talking about some,
Okay, so anyways, look at all the fucking fake giants that they supposedly had undug.
Oh, those are very big. Wow. Well,
That's
here you've got proof.
Giant.
Like, come on, like they're
Lompoc. Yeah, Lompoc. Okay.
Oh, did I? Okay, I'm sorry.
We don't,
Lompoc.
you know, Indian names are kind of hard. Different.
Yeah. And I should know that growing up in California, so I should have fucking known. I'm sorry. But look at the fucking accounts of supposedly the giants they found. But once again, why don't we have giant skeletons in all of these thingy-mabobbers? You know, like in all these museums.
Yeah.
7-foot and taller skeletons have been found across North America. Newspaper accounts, town and county histories, letters, scientific journals, diaries, photos, and Smithsonian ethnology reports have carefully documented this. The Smithsonian Institution is mentioned dozens of times as the recipient of enormous skeletons from across.
Well, the thing is what they were saying is none of these are native people. So they're not trying to hide the native people being large. They're supposedly saying, well, like, whatever. Sure, maybe, but I don't think that's again. There's no proof of a lot of these, and sure, I don't know. I don't think that's exactly it, but I don't know because white man is fucked up. But I think this is just a thing to make once again. The Anunnaki and the fucking the Bible make it so white man is the best of the thingy-mabobbers, and that's why they should take over the earth. And that's what it is. I don't think well, I guess it would be erasing native heritage. But again, this is just saying aliens made a thing and now they are going to take over or whatever.
Yeah, but how do aliens prove the Bible?
It does. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any fucking sense. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, if he's trying to make a point for the Bible, he's doing a shit job.
Exactly. Yeah, and totally.
Honestly, I don't think he's really trying to make a point for the Bible. I think he's trying to say, look, the Bible kind of corroborates what I'm saying, because God isn't real. This is real. Right? That's what I think he's really trying to say.
Right.
Okay.
Well, is that his own tinfoil hat? Yeah.
Who knows?
He's probably. Is he?
He always does these weird. No, he's actually not. He actually is a conspiracy theorist because he's always questioning things, saying it could be. Oh my God! Look at how this disappeared. Oh, it might be. He literally is on the conspiracy side. That's why we're watching this
across the entire United States. And if that's true, then where are the bones?
We knew Mexico. We knew.
From New York to California and almost every state in between, thousands of relics and over 1,000 giant skeletons have been discovered and documented.
But where are they?
They've been found in mounds, caves, burial chambers, stone crypts, and even on ancient battlefields. Many of the skeletons have strange physiology, like elongated skulls and double rows of teeth.
That could be a weird thing that happened because of genetic thing, right? Like, I don't think that's 2 rows of teeth. I think they maybe those molars are just so fucked. They just have that much rotting in the middle.
Rotting in
their
them.
teeth, and their teeth just expanded, right? Is that yeah, that's a thing, right?
For that huge
expansion. Teeth expansion, right? I mean,
one of my deer skulls right here, right?
Okay,
Look
give
at
me
the
a
teeth
second
there.
to do this thing.
Yeah.
Once again, it could be a multitude of things that made a thing look like a thing. Once again,
that's a singular tooth. Like,
what do we say? Causation isn't correlation or whatever the fuck it is, right? I always get it wrong. But like, just because something looks like a thing,
correlation is not causation. Exactly.
Just because a thing looks like a thing doesn't mean it fucking is a thing. Until you can actually look at it and you like see.
I'm sorry, giant people are not sharks. Okay. They don't have multiple rows of teeth in their mouth. Like sharks do.
Again, I just think that their teeth are fucked. Yeah.
It's doing it as well.
Yeah, it's a molar.
Exactly.
And a molar has multiple sides, and so like that's what we're looking at.
It's the way it's designed. It's the way it's designed, so to speak.
Yeah. So they're two separate animals, not the same. They're not from the same skeleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different
ones. How do we know that's the real skeleton anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. You could have doubled it up. But
teeth bones I've got about at the moment. But yeah, that's a perfectly normal thing that happens. It is literally when the dip part in the molars start to corrode away, which they would have because the people back then would be grinding and eating a lot of dirt and sand and things like that on their teeth.
Well, and they're not going to clean their teeth, so they're going to explode because they're going to get all the cavities in there.
Why do the front teeth look like molars instead of?
They do, don't they?
Well, I think I think what happened is they didn't clear off all of the dirt. I don't think
there's dirt stuck in there. You're right.
Yeah, I literally think they didn't clear off all the dirt. I think it's just sitting there and they're cherry picking.
I think it looks to me like a fake skull, really.
Well, and look at the way the nose is and the eyes. Fake. I mean, exactly.
But of course, the angle makes it look like that too.
There are no
citation
there's
needed.
No front teeth inside. There's no carnivore.
Canine.
I don't see any sharp teeth. There's no
carnivore teeth. The sharp point one. They're all molars. They're all flat grinding teeth, and that's not
like nothing vegetation. Yeah.
So once again, this could, of course, there's citation needed. We don't have
enough
photo editing,
but hasn't actually done it properly with the right teeth for an actual fucking human skull.
Right.
Or that's not a human skull, and that's an insectivore.
Or
Not
whatever.
insectivore, sorry.
It could just be a completely fake. But anyways, let's keep going. Yeah, exactly. It could be not a real skull. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's real.
In dozens of cases, the bones were turned over to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. So where are they? The Smithsonian was never really suspected of wrongdoing, but then something strange happened in 1950. In 1892,
show me they gave up this stuff to them.
And
And
when the
once
heck was the
again,
Smithsonian? Ugh, Jesus Christ.
well, and not just that, but if the Smithsonian was given stuff that's not real, they're not going to display it, you dumb
1846
cunts.
is when the Smithsonian was came about.
Okay.
Was when it was founded. Okay. But
So
still.
once again, if somebody gives them stuff that's not real, they're not going to put it on display, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
So
no.
if it's fucking fake, then they're just going to like throw it away and or put it in like the back section and not fucking show it. So that's why
and
you
anybody
idiot,
can
like,
claim, hey, I gave it to the Smithsonian.
and
But if they
they're
don't
just
have
going to hide it.
receipts, right?
Well, and not just that, but they're going to put it away in the fucking warehouses they
They're
have.
gonna
That's
keep it
literally
away,
what
yeah.
they do. Yeah, and then they use
Anybody
it.
seen Indiana Jones, that big warehouse they put the Ark of Covenant into? That's what happens.
Yeah, and they used it. They display it whenever they decide they want to use it for a display for whenever they're doing a certain subject, like the Egyptian something for something. Right? And then they're gonna grab all that crap. You got a lot of clicking in the background. Hold on, I got it. Hopefully that fixes it. There's a new voice reduction thing in the background. Oh, it's kind of working. You've got a lot of background noise, but that's okay.
Wooden coffins were discovered in a place called Crump's Cave in Alabama. The coffins,
Crump's
along with
Cave.
some other artifacts, were sent to the Smithsonian. This is all well documented. So in 1950, researcher Frederick J. Pohl wrote the Smithsonian to inquire about them. It was a curious find because Native Americans didn't use coffins or caskets. Pohl received a reply from the Smithsonian.
We have not been able to find the specimens in our collections, though records show that they were received.
The matter was pursued again in 1992.
Yeah, they have them. They're put away in their fucking warehouse, you idiots.
By another researcher, David Barron. He was told the coffins were wooden troughs.
Troughs?
Yes, troughs are long rectangular containers for feeding cattle, horses, or pigs. But before the Europeans arrived, North America didn't have any cattle, horses, or pigs. And even if they did, why would a trough have a lid on it?
What did this guy mention this to the Smithsonian people?
It could have been a handful of other things.
That's
Could
not
have been a chunk. It could have been-
completely true.
Yeah,
but
no, I know,
okay,
for sure. Yeah,
Like
totally.
we had cattle here. Like
Well,
just
you
because-
had grazing animals or animals that you
just
could
because
have
some white guy
wanted.
didn't write it down in his notebook doesn't
Right.
mean
How-
that the
right.
lawmaker
Well,
doesn't
hold
mean
on.
that it didn't have. We had cows here, plenty. Thank you.
Well, hold on real quick. How did the natives? I know horses came in at a weird point, but anyways, how would you get your horses to drink? So I mean, if you made these big troughs, then
Right. And each tribe is different. Like the Comanche tribe was known for being well in tuned with their horses. Like that's known. Comanches could ride a horse and kill you before you even saw them coming, you know. But other tribes didn't because there weren't wild horses in those areas. And that's when they say Native Americans, they need to specify tribes because just because we're Native doesn't mean we're all the same. I'm Cherokee, but you know, like my daughter's boyfriend, he's a half Comanche. He's completely different than Cherokee, and we're different than the Sioux and the Lakota and the Apache and the Crow.
And the U.S. is a big piece of land too.
So right before the douche nozzles came over and fucked everything, there was 4.5 million people living here in what we would call the middles of the Americas.
Right.
So there was 32 tribes, if not more, but there's 32 different versions of tribes, and they all had their different sects of each other as well. So there was different versions of like the Mohawk or the Sioux, Lakota,
Exactly.
or
The Cherokee, the Crow, the
there was a
Creek, the
gazillion
Chickasaw.
versions of everybody, and people were what they did is some were staying in the land that they normally were, but most of the time, to the best of my knowledge, and I am a white boy, so I'm sorry if I fuck this up, is everybody just moved around the country together, right? So it's like, I'm gonna go here and we're gonna go there this time of the year. I go that, and then exactly. Like I said, there are cultures that did stay, but
the Comanche stayed in what was called the Plains, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah, of
that's
course.
from North Texas up until
Sorry,
Kansas,
right?
right?
I didn't mean to say that everybody went around the whole country. But there were sections
What I want to say is
of
some tribes were
yeah.
traveling tribes as far as they went over all across what is considered America.
The Plains.
Whereas
Yeah,
some
sure.
stayed where they were, like the Cherokee. The Cherokee actually were formed in North Carolina. And then by the Trail of Tears, we were moved to Oklahoma, which is a lot different than North Carolina.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so that's why you have like so many tribes on so many different areas, is because the white man moved us.
Pushed everybody together, of course.
Right.
No, totally.
The same with World War II. This is why the Taliban and Al Qaeda exist, is because before World War I, the America, us, and France and Europe and all of them got together and decided, okay, this will be a country, not knowing and not caring that people have different beliefs, right? And so
they were actually nomadic.
The Taliban and the Al Qaeda came in. Same with the tribes. This is where the division comes in. It's because America and these other fuckwads decided to step in and think they know better than the people who have lived that way for hundreds of years.
Yeah, at the least. But anyways, let's blow on a little bit more, because it's the idiocracy of fucking people coming in and saying, "Oh, I'm going to tell you how you should run your bullshit because somehow I'm better than you," or whatever the fuck. And or the other thing is how do I use my religion to make money off of you? And that's usually what fucking Catholicism and Christianity has done, is they've gone to other places and said, "Oh, I'm better than you, brown person," or whatever. "Oh, well, now I'm going to tell you how to do your thing so then I can take over your
because they thought
minerals
we hunted buffalo and we lived in teepees and we did all, lived off the land, that we were savages. Well, we're not.
Yeah, that is that. No, it is that, and it is how do I make money off y'all? And that's what they did. Is they're like, "Oh, we're going to kick people off their fucking land so they can make money." Oh, I see gold and Hey, Jasper.
Right. And so they took our offspring and they put them into white people schools and made them unlearn their language, their native language.
Yep.
And
totally.
they taught
to lose their culture.
Natives have always believed in a God and a devil, whether they called it their creator or whatever they called it. They always believed in something. It's just because we didn't know Jesus Christ yet. But the thing about it is that it's
Jesus Christ.
It's all white men's. It's all white men determining who's good and who's bad, and what's a giant and what's not, and what's this and what's that.
Yeah.
Where if you ask somebody else of a different tribe or a different nationality or religion, they'd say, "Well, that wasn't really a giant. That was just a really tall guy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
does
that make sense?
Yeah, we've been over this multiple times. We're beating a dead horse for sure. So, anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over Mama's video of this what we're speaking about, and then we'll get back into this, because I think we need a palate cleanser for just a second. And Mama said this is gonna be a palate cleanser for us. So here we blow.
Just get face palm protection. You're gonna need it.
The Tartaria. Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
I don't understand why.
Yeah, totally. This guy. Okay. Here we blow.
Yes, discount or wish LEG. We call it.
The more recent one would be because I can't know for sure.
Punch himself in the
because
face.
It would be hidden history. Would be the Tartarian Empire.
For fuck's sake. Come on, man. Really?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to make some
Dude,
supplements.
you've been so indoctrinated by bullshit. It's incredible.
Oh no! I see the building now. I recognize them. And the other day, one of my colleagues, okay, he saw that I was posting Tartarian stuff on my wall, and he liked it, and he looked into it. And the other day, I came across him, both on our bike. So I just nudged. That's what we do when we cross each other. And he looked at the building and he says Tartarian. And I look and yeah, that's it. You got it. Once you look into it, you recognize the architecture. It's not our civilization. Whether you call it Tartarian or maybe it wasn't Tartarian, but it is a different civilization, different type of architecture. Yes. And you know what my sister told me when I told her about that? She told me, oh yeah, because we don't have the money anymore to build like that. Okay, our building that we built don't cost money. They cost money. We have money to build. Montreal is under construction.
He's French-Canadian, by the way.
Changed since I started
I just figured that
delivering a courier in the 90s. It totally changed. The tall building.
We don't build that way because we don't need to build that way. And our aesthetic ideals have changed.
What was the last building of that type of architecture that we built? We said, okay, now we stop this type of architecture because we don't have money anymore.
Right, here's the thing.
Which was the last building? You recognize those buildings. They have tall doors. Because
why is he
Tartarian
arguing a theoretical point that is maybe non-existent system made that is obviously not right anyway?
Sorry, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Not.
Yeah, the Tartarian, apparently they were giant, like 9 feet tall giants.
No, they weren't.
You are aware of that?
Who was 9 feet tall? Name one fucking person.
Tartaria was a name for like
sorry,
Asia and Russia at one point.
I may
Russia and
possibly have misheard you.
North
right?
part.
I just
hold on.
Ow. Motherfucker that was 9 feet tall. Please, just put a name to it. Nobody was 9 feet tall. If you're 4 feet tall, everybody looks 9 feet tall. And I can say that because I'm 5'3" on a good day. Everybody looks 9 feet fucking tall to me, but they ain't.
Melissa, you need to come to the Netherlands, then you can experience tall people.
Listen, I don't see that many
I'll
tall
just visit
people.
Skits again. He's
but if
tall.
you're over 6 feet tall, I think you're a giant. Okay, because that's all based on perception.
Exactly.
If you're asking a fucking shorty, like, oh, they was tall as shit, and then you ask
he said the doors were tall on Tartarian buildings because of giants.
Exactly. Like, was it really a giant, or I mean, what do we consider a giant? I consider a giant. 15.
You have to make tall doors. You have to make tall doors to get fucking tall shit in. You can't fucking.
Somebody pointed out in the comment section of this video that the steps were normal size to the doors. They weren't giant steps. They were normal size.
Normal size made the giant doors. Okay.
Right.
No, the doors were made large because back then, 1700s. What was the fashion? Oh yeah, women to have fucking hair that was about 3 foot tall.
Yeah, and their
women had these
other thing
was like 4 feet behind them. They had a 4 foot ass behind them.
The thing too is they brought up later, which I didn't clip,
to accommodate women's petticoats and crinolines and all those massive hoop skirts. They were made tall to deal with head height and everything, but also bringing in, like Slim said, fancy massive shit.
That's what I was getting to. They do cover that later on that wasn't clipped, like the big statues and things carrying.
How do you?
They had to have the tall doors to get it through. Yeah.
How do you move in their throne?
Right.
And the
it was
all
also
this.
a
Anyways,
sign of
how do you get the forklifts in? You know.
It was a massive flex to have doors that big because everything had to be specially made for that.
Yeah, and you wanted a huge castle walls, castle doors, castles, everything. And everything was big. Everything was accentuated. Anyways, keep blowing on with this
Like, why
douche
do you
nozzle.
think the doors that were that
Little-
big were the special ones that led to the dance hall, or the this, or the that, and that were only in massive rich houses and not the tenements, right? Where there were normal doors, or the doors to the fucking people's bedrooms that were normal size. It was only royalty that had those huge doors, or extremely rich
churches.
people
Or
in the rooms that they would have guests in to show off.
Exactly. There was normal people didn't have that stuff. It was to show off and to be better than. It's like people walking around.
Anyways, none of that makes any fucking sense. That doesn't. It's redonkulous to even think that this was a thing for fucking giants, whatever the fuck this crackhead says. So, anyways, all I want to say to this douche nozzle over here. Oh, Jeebus, I haven't done this yet. Oh my Jeebus, we have to do this. Oh, you have not been around, Melissa. All right. So what we got? Oh, wait,
just like you to say it again.
Hold on. I didn't do it. All right. So what we got over here is we got this douche nozzle, and he's really saying, I know what's going on, and what I got to do over here is he's actually a clown. So what we do is we just go like this, and he just says, I just know what things are going on because I saw a thing one time and read a thing on the YouTube. So now we got another clown right here.
It's like I'm watching a football game, Slim.
Exactly.
This guy over here, he's gonna completely. Oh, let me get into the thing. He's gonna completely make this guy look like an asshole. So we'll see that in just a second.
You have to give him the big break.
Like I'm watching football. Thanks, Slim.
And you want to see
fucking dickhead
you
on the
see
right or whatever.
Yeah, you want to see something even worse? Run! Jump out of your window! Look at how horrible that is!
Run away!
Run away!
That's great.
Okay. I'm done with those things for a second, but we will totally come back to that in a second. Because we're only 2 minutes into this.
His channel is Qbala, BALOAH.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's right here. Hold on. I got this right there. It's right there. Qbala, and I'm gonna do this because you can't see it. I'm just kidding. No, it's
he thinks he's a gangster. Okay, he thinks he's a gangster.
Of course, he's white as fuck, and he thinks he's a gangster.
The flat
Cuban, that's why he's wearing a hat.
French Canadian. He's a virgin and staying that way. I'm just saying.
Dude, he's never had sex besides with it. Hold on.
Anatomy of a lady. I'm just saying.
Hold on. He's had sex twice in his life, when he came out of his mom's vagina and when he had sex with her last night. Anyways, we'll keep going.
He's like Dave. Way to go.
Terrible man.
There were giants.
Yeah.
You just experienced a live face death. You actually experienced a live face
like
death.
I said, I'm not a Christian, okay, but I know a quote from the Bible.
You are
there was no giants
in those days.
There's no evidence anywhere for any giants. This is fucking Kevin.
There's one giant.
So all right, hold on.
And that's Goliath.
So what we got going on over here? Hold on, what we got going on over here is we got this guy. He cannot believe what's going on. You see how he's got his hand right here. He goes, I do not understand what this douche nozzle is talking about. And once again, we got this clown, and look at, he's got his red eyes, and he's got this nose, and he's got his thing, and then, he is definitely acting like a clown right here. I wish I could do something with his hat. We'll just do that. There you go.
Gotta do the hair.
Yeah, he is now he's a redheaded clown, and he is just like that. Yeah, he definitely does not know what he's talking about. All right, so, okay, we're done.
Okay, let's move on.
Cupola, buddy. Look, I know that you're not the smartest bulb in the box, and that your elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy at the top floor. I'm aware of this, right? But dude, come on. You do know that Tartaria was never even a thing. Hold on. You talked for about a million years then, so you do know that I can debunk the entire thing by explaining to you that Tartaria wasn't even a thing. Did you know that
I do this live?
Tartaria, the usage of the word Tartaria came from the Europeans in the Middle Ages, where up to the 19th century to describe parts of Eurasia. I'm still talking. It was just used to describe parts of Eurasia inhabited by various nomadic tribes. It never meant a great empire, and it certainly never fucking meant a great empire of giants.
Okay,
Now, please,
so
1 second,
back
just
then-
before you continue, my audience, my wonderful, wonderful audience, I would very much appreciate it if as many of you as possible could please clip what just happened and pop it in my Discord for me, because that kind of short is fucking viral shit. Whew.
Oh, okay. And never mind. I'm not going to go back. I want to make clown faces on him. And
I just want to know
clip
if
it out
he
too,
read-
but
Has he read any of the books behind him? Because I feel like he
that was brought into question too.
Oh, good.
By
good.
FTFE.
Because my first, whenever I see a book, I'm like, what books they got back there?
Yep,
They
yep.
read them? Like,
He's-
those are good.
They're old kindergarten books.
no,
Yes,
he's in his
it's
mom's
like
study.
a
No,
Peach Link, yeah, type stuff.
no, he's in his. No, he's in his mom's basement, and that's the fucking books that she put up that she knows how to read. And he doesn't know how to read. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even know what his fucking shirt says. He doesn't even know how to spell legendary or even how to pronounce
FTF's like,
it.
I don't think he's read any of those books that are behind him or something like that. He says it later.
Totally has not, bro. I
and
mean,
old, shit like
Yep,
that. Like,
yep.
it can't be any.
dude, he doesn't know how to fucking read.
Okay, you are aware of a thing called the Smithsonian?
I see. Here we go.
Jeez.
And you are aware that they are hiding giant skeleton?
Right. Maybe I don't know if so. Here's the
Melissa,
thing,
you're
right?
popping
Harrison
a bunch.
Ford's an
Melissa, you're
actor.
popping.
He's not actually an old guy that goes around like doing adventures and stuff. And all those scenes from Harrison Ford in the government facilities and hiding giant skeletons. Kevin, buddy, that was a movie. It was the fourth
I don't know
Indiana
what you're
Jones
talking
movie.
about.
Yeah, did he say Harrison Ford? Can we just,
yes.
does he think he's
Jesus
in
Christ.
Indiana Jones and the Tomb Raider? Like,
FTF's bringing up Indiana Jones and the fourth movie.
Yeah, but let's
Crystal
hold
Skull.
on. We'll go back to that. Yes, even his mom won't ghost him. Was on the phone on her stream. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, he did call his mom that one time.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that. That was like
Apparently
hot
she
minute
has
ago.
dementia or something.
So
Yeah,
he thinks
but he
we're
called her on
all
the stream.
living in
Yep.
Indiana Jones and the Tomb Raider. I mean,
No,
it was
no,
a
no.
good, it
No,
was
no,
an
hold on.
okay movie. It wasn't that great.
No, FTFE was saying basically like, do you believe the movies? What they show in the movies?
it's
That's
a
what he's referring to.
movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but listen to what he says. So we back this up a little bit, and FTFE is the one who brings that up.
Yeah.
But let's see what he says.
Skeletons. Kevin, buddy, that was a movie. It was the fourth
I don't know
Indiana
what you're
Jones
talking about.
movie.
I didn't see that movie.
It was the fourth Indiana Jones movie called The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
There we go.
Was kind of terrible, but
kinda.
It was a movie, dude.
That was bad.
And maybe you're having a
There
problem
was
here.
a fourth Indiana Jones.
It was a
There's been a
There was a
fifth.
fourth
but
Indiana Jones.
There's been a fifth recently, but we don't really talk
Oh
about
yeah, I
it. to be
didn't
honest.
know.
We don't
I
know
know.
about the fifth one.
I saw the third one. The third one was with Sean Connery. I believe so. I didn't
What?
see
Sean
anything.
No, it wasn't.
Connery was in
After that.
Indiana Jones.
Oh, no, it
The
was
third
not.
one
No,
had
no,
Sean
no.
Connery where he played his father.
channel is part
Oh,
of the
that's
history.
right. That's right. Yeah.
The Last
yeah.
Crusade was the third one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this dude is
And that's where I stopped it,
confused
yeah.
between reality and
Mhm.
Indiana Jones movies because he lives in his mom. Black
What it is he
basement.
believes anything he sees on the internet.
Oh, that's a
Anything
great
he sees on the internet,
Eh,
he brings up these YouTube videos he sees. This person said it, therefore it must be true.
Because remember, the
And this
internet
is the
is-
problem with the
Mhm.
internet that you got dumb fucks. Just to put
People
it
that don't
bluntly.
research, they
You-
take it at
you
face
really
value.
have these grown ass dumb fucks walking around
Mhm.
that think that movies and shit are real. Like
Yep.
King
Exactly.
Kong versus Godzilla was not a documentary, fool.
No,
It's a
it was not a
movie.
nature film, okay?
That
It was not a
shit
nature
ain't
documentary.
real. That wasn't
Exactly.
Animal
That's hilarious.
Planet or
Right.
whatever. Like that wasn't National Geographic. This shit ain't real.
She
And
she was really sweet. He was
okay.
just manipulating her. That's the problem. She
It's
is
because
really
he's an
sweet. He was
idiot.
just
I had
using
my
her.
nephew, my step nephew's mother believes that that birds are government spies.
The birds aren't real thing. They're
And
all
I'm not
drones and
kidding.
stuff.
Like they really
That's
believe
all
that birds
Well,
are not a real
we've seen
thing.
videos like that.
They
Well,
are
the thing
government
is that
spies. And I
yeah,
don't
they
know
were.
how do you talk with a motherfucker that thinks that a
You can't.
bird is a government spy? I have chickens, y'all. I can tell you right now, they ain't no fucking government spies.
Well,
okay?
the thing
Because
is, you need to show them the article about how that's fake. It
they
is a
don't
college student
believe it. They can't
that
read.
The
They're
birds aren't real
illiterate.
thing.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
student.
about?
Sure. I don't
They're
know. I
illiterate.
get you. Sure. Anyways, keep blowing on with this for like a hot second more, and then we will go from
I'm
here.
gonna tell her there are giants in the world, and I want to see what happens.
Let her know.
Oh,
It's gonna be
Jeebus.
great.
Just
The
string her
birds are
along.
Yeah,
out.
well, even if he wanted
Giants are in.
The giants are watching you.
to see the coffins or troughs or whatever they were, he couldn't because they were in a warehouse that was contaminated with asbestos and was closed for cleanup.
Closed for how long?
10 years.
10 years to clean up asbestos?
Yep.
Oof, they must have been union.
Yeah, it starts to.
Do
Oh,
you not
you're
know
one
how,
of
wait,
those.
hold on.
Oh,
Sure, but do you know how big these fucking warehouses are that fucking held these things? And if something is,
Don't they span
hold on,
like 20 miles or something?
Sure, yeah, no, they're fucking huge. It's insane.
Yeah.
But not just that, but if something is fucking asbestos contaminated, you have to fucking clean it so that it's not contaminated anymore. You don't.
You have to call in a whole damn
forever.
crew.
No,
Like
but
Yeah,
if-
it takes forever to clean
If it's
that
like
up.
a warehouse
yeah.
where they store all the stuff, they first have to
Yeah.
move everything out.
Out.
Yep.
Well, first they've got to make sure they decontaminate the stuff before they
Well,
move it. So they've
sure.
got to
This
clean
is
it.
America.
I don't hold
So
on.
moving out-
Wait.
This
Hold
is
on. I don't know the.
America. We cut
Hold on.
corners.
I don't know the order, but let's just say you have to try to get rid of it.
so
You
much
have to get rid of
work.
everything on.
Okay,
you have to get
listen.
in and out and all this stuff. I mean, like it takes so much
Like,
fucking time
okay,
and so much
the
effort.
They've got over a
collections-
million pieces
Hold on.
in there.
Let Mama Let Mama talk. Go ahead,
The
Mama.
collections storage
Hold on,
space
hold
at
on.
the MSC totals over 600,000 square feet.
What did they do with it after
Freaking
they
huge
collected,
warehouse,
Mom?
guys. It's just
What
saying.
did
they
do
have
with it
multiple
after
of
they
them.
They
collected,
probably did
Mom?
it bit by bit.
They probably put
section
it out a
it
little
off.
bit at a time when they
You
need to
think
do
so?
when they need
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, they clean out a
Mhm.
bit.
Let's just say
Clear it
they had a couple of sure they had to do it slowly. They couldn't have done it all
Right.
at once. They had multiple
Right.
small warehouses that were
Because-
around or
Mhm.
whatever, and they can't transport it very far, so it has to be fucking local. So maybe they made fucking like temporary warehouses around.
Yeah.
They can't make
Right.
it that fucking
Yeah.
huge. So again, this makes sense why it took this long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Honestly,
if-
yeah.
Even if it's just
And
like
it has
packing it all closer together in a bit, so you can clean out one.
Sure.
area,
Let's just say
but
they're moving
also
it around.
That area has to be sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
of course it has.
Well,
it
and
has to
because
be
asbestos is only dangerous if it's disturbed, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, and that's
yeah.
the
put
little
it
that's
in
the
there
little
and you
fibers.
leave
The
it
little
alone. Asbestos is fine. It's when
Sure, but-
people start knocking down these old houses or redoing,
Yeah,
what
so
buildings or
they-
whatever. That it start. There's more property with asbestos than there is without, right?
But that's the problem that they were having is they were
Yeah.
moving it. They were agitating. They were doing
Moving it
now
instead
you
of
have to have
destroying
way more.
it
Yeah,
as
exactly.
they're
So
cleaning it.
now,
just for
so now they
reference-
have to go through all. Go ahead, Mama.
the Museum Support Center of the MSC houses over 31 million objects.
Exactly. And let's
Just
not.
saying, that's a lot you have to move.
Okay, so once again, the fucking numbers are gigantic, and these idiots are fucking not understanding the concept of this. So let's keep blowing on, because I want. There's a little bit more that I want us to go over, just a little bit more.
Smell like a cover-up. The suppression of Native
That's what your
American
mom said last
archaeological
night. Oh.
evidence allegedly began in 1881. Up until that point, the Smithsonian was under the direction of John Wesley Powell,
1740.
the geologist famous for exploring the Grand Canyon. Powell had spent a lot of time with the Winnebago Indians, and he found them to be thoughtful and intelligent. So Powell and the Smithsonian actually promoted the idea that Native Americans, who were at the time being exterminated in the Indian Wars, were descended from advanced civilizations who communicated with and traded with cultures all over the country and possibly all over the world. This widespread.
No.
Yeah, that's.
We didn't trade all over the world because we didn't.
Let's
I'm going to be honest.
Okay, sure,
Most
sure.
natives did not know that life exists. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like,
but
we
let's
didn't
talk about.
know
Hold
that
on,
there
hold on,
was
hold
a
on.
China. You know.
Sure. But let's just say in that worldview, the Caribbeans or the South America's a little bit
Right,
more,
like we traded with Mexican tribes like the Incas and the Mayas
and then
and the
also
Aztecs.
further north in the Canadias. So there was
But not
more.
all-
So that's technically Wordle. So that's technically
we'll say North America. Let's say
but in their view, that would have seemed somewhat worldly. And yes, we didn't have that until a little bit later. And we don't actually know how many peoples did go back and forth because, once again, we're whitewashed as fuck. We believe that whites did every fucking thing, and that's not how the world fucking works.
Once again, have a white.
That's what we're taught.
Native
Like, quite
Anyways.
literally, there was this belief that the Polynesian islands, all the tribes had to be born on those exact islands, right? They were there when everything got separated. They refused to believe that the dumb natives were able to
Knew how to
create
get
a boat at that age with the rudimentary tools that they owned and travel to all the different Philippine islands
And go fuck everybody else.
live there. And it took until like the 80s for people to actually make the boat that their ancestors would have used to travel there.
Natives
to prove it because
natives
people
can't
didn't,
build
like
boats.
white men wouldn't believe it. Fucking ridiculous.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that, natives knew this country long before white man was ever here.
The main thing that we need to talk about is the white man suppressed all of the ancient technologies as much as they could, so it looked like everybody was dumber than us, so that we could steal their resources, and that's mainly how this all fucking worked. So let's keep blowing on because we all know this, so let's get more into the idiocracy of what they're talking about for this.
Dispersion of culture
I'm going to
is called.
apologize now. If he fucking mentions Vikings, I'm going to kick off. I'm sorry.
No, I get you, and I don't think we get there exactly. I didn't get. We'll see. But I don't think that was in there yet for that. I think it was only those weirdos in fucking that one state that thought they saw it, and then they proved.
Oh, you're talking like Minnesota or something like that?
Yeah, it was the Minnesota or whatever. And then they realized that like they could show that there was just natural grooves in the rocks that made things that kind of look like a thing that almost looked like Viking writing or something.
That was an out and out forgery. They actually forged that stone. Right. That's not even naturally occurring. The Minnesota has been debunked and the Yale one debunked. Like there's only one case of Vikings making it over to your side of the world, and that is Canada.
Yeah, I was going to say
Nova
Vikings
Scotia
only
area.
made it to Canada, right? Like they didn't get
Sure,
all the way in North America, did they?
So
no,
Vikings landed in
Minnesota at the
Newfoundland.
Yeah. So anyways, let's keep blowing on. So we already know those thingamabobbers and we understand that concept. But let's listen to this idiot again keep telling us things that he believes. And what's even funnier about all this is he's got like all this stuff like with the red lines in the background. He's got this.
It don't mean nothing.
Hat.
I don't know what all
well,
this
it's funny is. Oh, well, this is what weirdos do that think they know what's going on when you have all these maps in the background and you have these lines around things. It's what the psychopaths do. And then the tinfoil hat means that he thinks that if he wears this, he's not going to be infiltrated by the government with his thoughts.
Diffusionism, which is Smithsonian support.
One time on Grampy Lobster's chat, and it was
yes.
Yeah. That was fun. But
R.I.P. Grampy Lobster.
Yeah,
we miss you so much. We miss you so much.
Have fun wherever you are.
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep blowing on.
Supported. But then Powell appointed Cyrus Thomas as the director of the Eastern Mound Division at the Smithsonian. And then things got political. Thomas wasn't a fan of Native Americans. He thought of them as nothing more than howling savages.
Dude, look at how fucking ugly you are, motherfucker. You are not fucking. You should not be putting anybody down, you asshat.
He has an incest
let me tell
chin.
you, there are
He's got that. Yeah.
You will see a
He's
lot
inbred
of
as fuck.
scalpings and shit like that on TV and in the movies. There are very few tribes that
actually happened.
Scalping
the
did
white
not happen from an name.
It only happened on rare cases.
It was like one tribe that would, two tribes that would scalp
Comanches.
each other in fighting battles to fuck with each other.
A lot of it was with the Sioux.
thought-
The Sioux was more of a traveling tribe, and the Sioux was hardcore. Let's be honest.
Were they nomadic? Weren't they? They were nomadic, right?
The Sioux was nomadic, and they were hardcore, and they could track you down very quickly.
Yeah, I thought there were two.
Everybody in the wagon train or whatever you were with, which that's the way it was back then. It was the same. But very few tribes actually scalped people. Comanches.
I thought
were
it
big
mainly
for that.
I thought it mainly only happened during wars, especially with the white men. There was only
The
like
white men
2 or
that-
3
yeah.
wars.
Yeah, the white men scalped
technically-
Indians because they would get paid for Indian scouts.
It was during war.
Well,
It was a sign of a battle, because what natives say, and this is all natives, when you make war on us, we make war on you.
Right.
So if you don't make war on us, we don't make war
Yeah, so
on
I
you. And I
thought-
know that sounds very simple, but if you leave us alone, we leave you
yeah, no, of course
alone.
we get it. We get it. So anyways, I thought this only happened in a couple rare cases, and it wasn't like a common thing that
That
was
fucking
happening.
guy is ugly.
So,
Can we just
I know,
say
I
how
know.
ugly?
I know. So
Yes.
I'm trying to get off of him as soon as possible. So let's
He's
keep going on.
ugly.
I know.
Thomas thought it was impossible for savages from one side of the Mississippi to visit savages on the other side. And to think that people as primitive as Native Americans could sail over an ocean was just ridiculous. This is called isolationism. Isolationism says that civilizations develop independently from each other and have very little contact with other civilizations, especially across oceans or lakes. The debates in the Smithsonian raged, and Cyrus Thomas eventually won the.
Can we just say it's being a dumb white person? And I'm half white, so I know this. But, you know, Caucasian people think that everybody else is so fucking stupid and couldn't figure this shit out. We figured this shit out a long
It's
time
crazy.
before
No,
white
it's crazy. Yeah.
Melissa, it is white people, not Caucasian, because Caucasian is a very specific
That's true.
That's right,
mix
Bill.
of white
You're
people.
right.
I don't know why Americans call white people Caucasians, because Caucasian people aren't white.
Well, I call them pale-faced crackers, but I mean,
I
other people
think
don't.
that's more
Hey,
than
I'm
fair,
saltine,
but
okay?
That's the thing. Caucasians are actually like darker skinned. They're not white. So it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
And I just was like, don't blame the Caucasians because they ain't white.
Right.
Actually, I'm probably more like a wheat then, because I got some Italian in me too, and different.
There we go. Well, I'm a Euro mutt, so I don't know what I am. But
I'm
anyways,
Cherokee,
on.
Creole, Black Dutch, German. So I got it all.
I'm a lot of different things. So
isolationism versus diffusion.
My family were sluts. Is all I gotta say.
Everybody a mutt, right?
Like Smithsonian took it official.
You're not pure white. You're not pure.
No,
this,
nobody is. That's even funnier.
If everybody would just go, you know what? The white part of me kind of fucked up and was awful to everybody else, and that sucks. So I'm not going to be
let's
that
all
way.
party.
It'd be much better.
Yeah, if we're like, hey, let's all party now. Like, I'm sorry, I was a dick. Here, let me fucking make you some food. Or let's all party and hang out and
My great grandfather was a Congressional Medal honor. Okay, like he was the top. He married a Cherokee woman. That is my great grandmother. That's how I'm Cherokee. Yeah. He fought in the Indian Wars against the Indians, and then married a Cherokee woman and had 4 children with her. One that was my great grandmother.
Jeebus.
You know,
Jeebus. Okay.
So it's like, you know, we're all mutts. And if we can just admit the white people fucked over everybody.
Of course,
Okay, they fucked over everybody. Then we can go, okay, they did. Let's move on with it now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we can't, and
Exactly.
people won't admit that the white part of them is what fucked over the darker parts of them.
Oh God,
exactly.
I being white and being from a country that historically is the problem, right? We were the problem of the world. I don't actually find it difficult to say historically we were fucking evil. We did
but a lot
so
of
much
people
damage
do.
to the world. And well, as far as I know, none of my ancestors moved to America. That doesn't mean to say that none of my ancestors' actions had ripple effects that helped with the problems in America. Right?
And
just
see,
like I know my family was involved in things that probably didn't do good. Like my granddad fought in the war in Korea, right?
Right.
I know that I had family that fought in World War I and II on like the Allied side. But yeah, they probably didn't do something great at that point. I know I had a family member that was over in India.
Right.
In an army capacity.
Indian
And it's
people.
like,
I just want to say, I don't know
I
if
can
there's
say
any
that they probably did some
Indian
very
people.
fucked up things.
Wonderful.
That doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
Okay,
That
so
doesn't
hold
mean
on real quick.
I'm responsible for their actions. It means I
but you can
acknowledge
say-
it.
Hold on. So this is exactly why we are doing these kind of streams, is to be like, here, we learned, we're trying to show the problems with what happened in
Why
the
this
past and trying to be okay.
Right.
And like, I'm sorry that it happened, but like, here, let's learn from it.
We need
The
to learn
only
from
way
it and not dwell on it. That's the problem. We're dwelling on it too much.
If we hide it, we're not learning, and we need to learn from this
We
to
need
show.
to learn, or it will
Yeah,
repeat itself
Right.
over
Yeah, exactly.
and
That's-
over and over again. If you learn
And that's
from
why
it,
we're doing
it doesn't
these.
repeat.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this, even though we're taking the piss out of giants, but literally we're going over the history of the Americas and we're saying, hey, there's certain problems with this, and we're trying to, and we're being okay with it and talking about it and saying this is
the world started. If you're a Christian person, the Garden of Eden was in Africa. All these white people that go around thinking that Jesus or God is white, I can't wait till they get to heaven's gates and figure out that God ain't white, because the Garden of Eden was in Africa.
It's actually olive skinned.
Can you imagine
Yeah, it's
how
gonna be
bad
great.
the
Yeah.
God would have turned if they were white in Africa?
Blue-eyed, and then he's a little bit darker, and he might not like exactly how you feel about darker folks. You know what I mean? Like, I can't
It's
wait
gonna be
for it.
what is the joke? I think that Dave Chappelle did this, right? Where it was like, you go to heaven, he's like, yo brother, what you doing? How you doing? You can't hear me?
No,
I think that maybe
I can hear Slim perfect.
I hear you, Slim.
Anyways, just imagine going up to heaven. I think Dave Chappelle did this, where he's like, "Yo, brother, how you doing? Like, give me some skin," and oh, Jeebus, you know how amazing that would be for like other people.
I just
people that
have
are
this
like racist.
beautiful image.
You're just like,
of
that'd be
Adam and Eve.
amazing.
I have this beautiful image of Adam and Eve, pasty ass white fuckers in Africa in the Garden of Eden before sunscreen ever existed. Like they would have burnt up like a crap. Like they would have burnt up like crispy bacon, man. No wonder they went under the shade of the forbidden tree.
Yeah,
they had to hide from the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so anyways.
Official stance that any archaeological evidence supporting diffusionism was fraudulent. It was believed that contact between the civilizations of the Ohio and Mississippi valleys were rare, and contact between the Mississippian cultures and the Mayas, Toltecs, or Aztecs in Mexico or Central America, well, that was absurd. So the history books were written. Native Americans were a primitive and sometimes savage people, and that was that. But not so fast. When those ancient mounds and pyramids in the Midwest were studied, It was shown that the Mississippi River valleys was, at one time, home to an ancient and sophisticated culture. At the time, the culture's capital city, Cahokia, was bigger than almost any city in Europe. When the Spiro Mounds in Oklahoma were excavated between 1933 and 1935, a man over 7 feet tall was discovered. He was in full armor, and buried next to him was a pot of thousands of pearls and other artifacts. This was one of the largest treasures ever discovered at that point in time. We know that the man in armor was found, and the Smithsonian was contacted.
That's very important.
What?
What type of pearls? Because if they're freshwater pearls, right, it's obviously easier for them to get. However, if we're talking about oyster pearls, that involves someone needing to be able to have the lung capacity to dive deep down underwater multiple times, or them having enough wealth to be able to trade with a tribe that has that ability.
The Americas don't really have pearls, I don't think. So I don't think that's really a thing in the seas.
Baby girl. It's okay.
I know we have river versions, but I don't think we have actual sea. So it would have been from another country, I think.
For thousands, because like there's to have thousands of deep sea, like the oyster pearls and all that shit. Like, my God, that's a lot. Like,
yeah.
All right, so I mean, if you ask Cookie McSweet Chicks to make a bunch of pearls and she can spit those
different
out
kind of pearls, Slim. Different kind of pearls.
I'll give her a necklace. I'll give her a necklace.
Different pearl. Okay, anyways, we'll talk about that later.
I'm sure she has a collection with all those semen. She,
as I was going to say, she can definitely spit that out that fast. But we'll talk about that.
Where is he? Many human remains were found in graves next to artifacts. But
again, there's no proof of any of this. There's no fucking proof.
Remains were discarded, and we're told that most of the rare and priceless objects disintegrated before scholars could reach the site.
Not convenient that priceless objects vanished before anyone.
How would a pearl? No, that's not real. Pearls would not be able to destroy themselves before people.
No, they would not.
If they were, put in front. Yes, there are certain times where fossils and other things that are dug up will disintegrate, or they're not used right, or like say if they're in the desert or something, right, and they uncover them and they don't shade them or they don't give them enough water. Yes, sometimes they can break apart or like be unusable to tell exactly what they are anymore. But not pearls and not bone and not a handful of other things. Yes, certain fossils may be able to be destroyed before somebody gets there to do whatever, but we're talking about things. They just said a multiple of things, not just one thing.
Sims, he literally used a video clip earlier of one of the people he's used as evidence, saying that the skeleton turned to dust in their hands, and yet now he's saying later on that is an impossibility.
Well, again, none of this is real. Yeah, none of this is real. Okay.
Anyone gets there.
When the excavation was finished, dynamite was used to destroy the burial chamber.
And I believe this is actually true. They were trying to get further into the chamber. They actually used dynamite and blew up most of the chamber. That is true for, I think, this excavation. But again, there was no giant bones they found during this excavation.
And any remaining artifacts that were considered valuable were sold off.
No, they were blown up, but not then. Why would you sell? Never mind. Jesus Christ.
The Acambara artifacts were discovered in Mexico in 1994 and have been the center of controversy. Over 33,000 unusual artifacts, including many ceramic and stone figurines, were found. Initial laboratory testing suggests the artifacts were about 6,500 years old. But here's where things get controversial. Some figurines depict dinosaurs living alongside humans. And there's a famous carving of a human warrior riding a triceratops. Diverse ethnic groups are represented. Blacks, whites, and Asians are depicted. But those races should have been unknown in the Americas 6,500 years ago.
Oh my God.
And there were strange creatures like mermaids.
Citation needed. That's what I'm saying. Citation needed. How do you
take
know
away any fucking racist bullshit you've got in your head and say to me how there's any proof that they are black, white, or Asian outside of chinky eyes and all that bullshit.
And read what's on screen right now. And there were also strange creatures like mermaids. So of course, and there's everything represented here. You know, everything's the thing in the thing because they have a fucking mask that looks like this. What the fuck are you talking about, you fucking crackheads?
Mermaids, human-animal hybrids, even a Bigfoot. Also found were teeth.
Yeah, it's called imagination. It's called people fucking making up shit that they fucking envisioned in their head or had dreams about. And like, ancient stuff was not only just made to represent reality.
Like,
literally.
Here's a crazy idea. We have found fossils. We historically know that our ancestors found fossils, even in like the 1500s, etc. So maybe, just fucking maybe, they actually found fossils somehow through just life and made idols out of that.
So all of the
cave paintings, who knows?
So all of the fucking. Go ahead, Braylon. Strike hard.
You know, like if we go on that, like, what the fuck are people gonna think if, like, in years they find our movies?
No, exactly. That's the whole joke. Like, if somebody sees Godzilla in 1,000 years, are they gonna believe there's a fucking Godzilla? Fuck no. But not just that. Yes, all of the stories of dragons and ancient texts of them somehow link back to fossils being found of them. I think I talked about this multiple times. There was a botanist who went to Asia, and he was hanging out with a lady who used all the ancient cures, right? And she had this bottle of dragon bone. And he kept asking her year after year. He's like, "Where do you get this?" And she's like, "No, it's too sacred. Your white ass can't know yet." And he's like, 10 years into it, he's finally like, you know, the bottle got down to the end. And she goes, "Okay, white boy, let's go take you into the mountains." She's like, "It takes 3 days to get there." And he's like, "Oh my God, she's like 80. He's like, she's probably gonna die before we get there. But anyways, walks 3 days. They camp every night. They go there and they're walking, and they turn a corner. In the side of the mountain is a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil.
Oh, wow.
And she is scraping the bottom of the fucking toe out. So there's literally this whole thing, and there's just these scrapes out of just this bottom freaking part of it.
I love that. And even then, she was taking the least damaging part in
the
like.
Well, why would she do anything? Yeah,
way. That's so
of course.
Beautiful.
Well, what else would you do? But anyways, yeah, totally. But again, like, and then he immediately was like, "Oh, dragon bone. Yeah, of course, it's a fucking fossil." So literally, she's just giving people calcium. I mean, like, right? Isn't it calcium sub version of something like that fills in
like if it became a fossil, it's basically stone.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, the bones are.
It's that version of it
anymore.
No, I thought. Well, sure, whatever it is. But it literally, she's just giving people fucking rock.
Yeah,
but anyways,
it depends on in what stage it is from becoming a fossil. Like, it could still be bone, but
and that's what your mom said last night. Anyways, and I mean, I'm sorry, I had to go there. It was just right there.
Wait, you went to my mom after me or before me?
Well, usually it's after, because she needs more. But anyways, so once again. There's just because there's representations of thingamabobbers that look like a thingamabobber doesn't mean there's fucking not like stories. Like if you look at Roman times or Greek, what do they talk about? Like 9-headed serpents. What is it? Lion's head on a serpent's body and something else into something else. Well, where did that come from? It's obviously just mythology that somebody came up with. Just because something looks like something doesn't mean it's fucking real. I mean, duh. So anyways, let's keep blowing on.
from an extinct Ice Age horse,
Also, just
and the
quickly,
skeleton.
they have been widely known as fake and made by local modern day farmers.
Well, that's that one version of those pottery thingy-mabobbers in that one place. These exactly what they're showing isn't exactly that, but they may talk about those pots
of a mammoth. Neither of these animals should have been there.
Because these are all different thingy-mabobbers that they're showing.
Archaeologists Charles C. DePeso and John H. Tierney examined the collection and authenticated the find. Carlos Perea, the director of archaeology for the Acambaro zone, also authenticated it.
No,
But
they didn't.
the Smithsonian and other authorities dismissed the findings as fraudulent. Despite laboratories dating the objects to 4500 BC, the Smithsonian declared the artifacts 30 years old and said the whole find was a hoax. John Tierney, who later collaborated with Professor Charles Hapgood, said the Smithsonian Institution and other authorities had conducted a campaign of disinformation against the discoveries. If you remember from the Adam and Eve episode we did, Charles Hapgood was dismissed as a pseudo.
They say they're real, right?
Yeah, of course.
So,
So they're going to claim this information from the Smithsonian.
What it is generally thought of as happened is they were made by local artists. There's no sign of aging at all in them. There's no dirt packed in the crevices and things. There's no wearing, nothing. However, they were placed in a real dig site.
Right.
So the dirt around them is authentic. Everything else is authentic. However, the idols themselves are not real. Like, out of that many, it's not. None of them are broken. Even though they've been compact like that, all of them survived perfectly the excavation process. They were so well preserved that they look fucking modern day.
Yeah, they're obviously fake. Obviously,
Scientist, because he claimed the continents drift over millions of years.
Oops.
Yeah. So John Tierney filed a Freedom of Information request and asked for all the Acambaro files from the Smithsonian. Well, it turns out the files are missing, and all the Acambaro objects in the Smithsonian's possession have been put into storage and may not be viewed by the public.
Until when?
Didn't say. Tierney went on to write a book called Acambaro, Archaeology's Astounding Scandal. But good luck trying to find it. The phrase "a skeleton in the closet" refers to
that are at the Smithsonian that aren't on display. What about them?
Well, no, again, they're just
secret that if exposed,
is it we go straw manning it? I guess I don't know.
Would cause shame, guilt, or even a scandal. And we all have a skeleton or two in the closet.
And if you want to go to the Smithsonian to get them to pull out something and to do research on it, like you have to have like a grant. Like you can't just walk up to the Smithsonian and go, you know that thing that something happened to well, will you pull that out of your fucking archives and then
you have to have a reason. No, you have to sign it up, like sign loads of paperwork
and you have to be
and
somebody
apply for it.
You have to be a somebody too. You can't just be a fucking nobody. You have to be like,
there are some
I'm
YouTubers that manage
this.
to. Like there are some like medium level YouTubers that do. Like they're nowhere near the 1 million mark, and they manage to like apply for this to do it. But they're obviously known, like they're obviously like, oh, we can see from your work that like, you are a historian, basically that sort of thing. So like it's
you
a
have
bit
to have
iffy,
some
but
kind of. You have to have some
I
kind
couldn't
of.
go and do it. There's no way I could just apply and do it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Is no.
Okay.
I gotta go sleepy, and Vila also doesn't have to make it too late.
Night night.
Night
Hey,
night.
night. So, anyways, so once again, of course, not anybody can get into the access to look at these things unless they have certain accreditation and blah 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 yakety schmackety to prove it, and or if you can get a grant from the government to be looking at something, to be writing a book, and or to be studying something, then you may get access to this. But that's the only way you can do it. You can't just be like, I'm Bob from down the street, and I'm gonna like write in and say that I want you to pull these archives out for me to fart on him or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to let you look at him, you weirdo.
They would never let someone like him do it either, because they'd be too worried that he would destroy them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have you can't get access to these unless lots of things.
And then when they do have you look at them, you're with somebody. You have to wear, gloves or whatever.
Oh
or
yeah, I know, but I think he would
like
deliberately destroy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So they have to really vet the people
before the
before they allow them to
Smithsonian.
look.
They're actual skeletons.
What an idiot.
Giants in America, a government conspiracy, a Smithsonian cover-up. It's a fascinating story.
No.
But is it true? Well, let's unravel it. Ohio has been the epicenter for giant skeletons, especially in the 19th century. When early discoveries made the news, the stories were a national sensation.
Pause
And
it
this
1
amount of
minute.
attention also brings out the
Do you know what else was a national sensation in the 19th century?
What?
Oh, that guy that we mentioned earlier that had his skeleton stolen after he died, who actually suffered from the being a giant.
Yeah. Robert Wardlow. Yeah.
Yeah, so like when there was, so in England, basically, we had the Elephant Man, right? Victorians were obsessed with him to the point they actually started funding the guys in hospital neurofibromatosis department, right? Because he was that big of a deal.
Right.
In America, Wardlow.
Yeah.
Thank you, good mom. He was over there.
Right.
And he was making the rounds in all the freak shows, and he was making the rounds being at private parties for people. So of course he's going to be the big news, and that's going to cause people making other versions of it, finding skeletons and things, because they can't just magically pull out another person that's a giant, can they? They're going to find the skeletons and stuff instead for the freak shows.
But the museums are not going to let those go. So it's never mind. Let's keep blowing on.
Like it is today.
Some
Things
of
are
them,
No,
sensationalized.
that's what I mean.
Some
Like,
of them,
people
but a lot
are
of them
going
were
to start
faked.
saying,
A lot of
"Look
them,
what I found, look what
there
I
were a lot
found."
of faked. There were a lot of faked big skeletons. A lot of them were not fucking real for the traveling sideshows and the circuses and all that fucking shit. Anyways, let's blow on, because let's see what he says about this, because maybe he's turning it around. Maybe he isn't a conspiracy theorist.
hoaxers and scammers.
Hey, you want to buy a Hecklefish NFT?
I do not. And by the way, if you bought an NFT relating to the Y-Files or Hecklefish, you got scammed. But not by me.
No refunds.
In 1882, enormous skeletons were discovered in a lake bed near Cincinnati. The Columbus Dispatch ran with the story. The problem was, it was all a hoax. The alleged discoverer was charging admission to visit his property and view the skeleton. Now, it may or may not have been a real skeleton, but either way, it was about 5'8", so not a giant.
Maybe the guy who found it was really short.
Maybe, but...
So we're getting into disproving some of the shit. So anyways, we'll go over a little bit of this, even though we kind of already did this, but I just want to show that he's going to disprove some of it.
The story was so exciting that newspapers around the world ran it without fact-checking.
Journalists running stories without checking the facts. No, it can't be.
As more
chicken effects. I love how it says stories without chicken effects. Anyway,
stories about giants popped up in the news. It was hard to separate fact from fiction because the newspapers ran every story.
Hey, you want the truth or you want to sell papers, am I right?
Right.
Nothing ever changes.
It's all about money.
That's true. Ralph Glidden was the archaeologist who found over 3,000 giant skeletons in 800 graves on Catalina Island. That turned out to be a huge hoax. He did find one.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a huge hoax because Catalina Island's actually very fucking small. I don't know. Like, if anybody wants to look that up, just see how small the Catalina Island is.
Skeleton and took a picture of himself standing near it. He showed the picture to a friend who said, "That looks like a giant," which it does, but only because the skeleton is closer to the camera. Glidden ran with the idea to make some money, but it was all a scam. And since the early days of the internet, photos have been floating around of people excavating sites with giant bones.
They're all fake.
Some of the pictures are great, and I used a lot of them today. But most of the pictures are from a Photoshop contest held in 2002. In fact, science says that giant humans could not exist. Yes, there are human beings who grow very tall, but that's due to medical conditions and genetic disorders. Gigantism often happens when someone has a tumor on their pituitary gland, but this is a serious medical problem. And people who suffer from gigantism often die very young due to the strain on their hearts and other organs.
Okay, so we're just going to begin ending this here because this gentleman from what the WF question mark, the Y files, is getting at is what they do is they say things and then they're like, okay, here's actual facts, kind of like, God, what's his freaking name? I can't remember. The Blaze
so like a bait and switch.
And the Blaze and a couple other things where they like go over all the conspiracies and then they tell you it was all fake. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us and being here.
I actually thought he was that stupid for a minute.
No, they actually go all that, and like we just showed in the last segment, he went and talked basically about how that it couldn't be a thing. There is giganticism, but there isn't this underground culture. Species in the Americas that made the tall peoples that for some reason isn't a thing anymore, and all that fun stuff. So, anyways. We're gonna get the fuck out of here because it's been a hot second. So thank you all very much. Tomorrow is I don't remember. What are we doing tomorrow? I don't know. I don't have that like brought up. So something tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. So thank you all very much. We'll see you later.
Thank you guys.
Everybody
Have a
say
good night.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.